Welcome everybody to practice one for the 2026 Formula One Japanese Grand Prix. We're back in Suzuka for a good F1 weekend. We've got our first higher downforce track of the calendar. I'm excited. Our last Grand Prix weekend before a month break, which I'm not looking forward to. But if you're new here, this is how it works. You got my face here, you got the live timings here, you got the session timer down the bottom left you can sync it up with, and you got lovely Twitch chat that you can type in. So if you're watching right now on YouTube or TikTok, come join us on Twitch. We are live every single Grand Prix weekend for every single session. We'll be live for every session this weekend, and we'll be live for every session for the rest of this year once F1 returns. Anyways, cars about to come out on track. We've had a lot of news come out this week. I'd probably say the biggest bit of news would be that Jonathan Wheatley has left Audi as team principal. He is rumored to join Aston Martin, although not confirmed yet. And we've got Mattia Binotto stepping up to be the full team principal of Audi, at least in the meantime. Other bits of news, Max obviously went over to NLS to race last weekend, and his team, Verstappen Racing, won the race. However, they got disqualified because they used one set too many of tires throughout the entire weekend. Other than that, Alonso has had a baby. He missed Thursday media day. He's going to miss this morning's session, so Jack Crawford is in the car to get a rookie session done for the season for them. Other than that, I don't think there's much news. We've got a brand new livery. We've got a special livery for VCARB, the beautiful Japanese livery to match the spring edition can. We've also got a Godzilla livery on the Haas, and we've got kind of a special livery on the Mercedes, just on the front wing. We've got the Wolf. Not as many Japanese special liveries as I feel like previous years, but still, nice. A nice mix up on the grid. Kaxmar, www.croissant.com. What the fuck? SD29, Ash Your Talkie. Thank you guys for the follows. The guy in the Macarena wing is frying me. Wait, I just realized. Did Red Bull bring their Macarena wing? Did Aston Martin bring theirs? I remember Aston Martin and Red Bull were said to have bought their Macarena wing this weekend, but I haven't heard anything about it, so I assume they haven't. But yeah. What's this VSC for? Is this a test, or is that because... What's that VSC for? What the fuck? It's so random. I guess... Okay. Oh, a lot of smoke coming out the back of the Cadillac. TikTok, I need to restart the stream. TikTok's been so weird for me this week. This last week. So weird. Ever since the update. I'm trying to figure out what it is. AI optimized. What the fuck is all this new shit? Oh, what the fuck have I done? What have I done? What have I done? What am I doing? So I'm just trying to figure out what's happening on my TikTok. Alright, we're good. Alright. Let me get the timer up for you guys. What's going to start the race this week? That is what every Australian fan is hoping. How that man hasn't started a race yet is kind of hilarious at this point. Well, he did start the sprint. Alright, what I missed in chat while I was yapping away. Not the voice crack. They should let Crawford have the whole weekend. It's not like Max last season who was in the championship fight. True, actually. If I was Alonso, I'd just be like, look, lads, car sucks. Me driving it changes nothing. If anything, me driving it makes it worse because I'm going to just hurt my hands. Let me have some time with my baby and let Jack have the weekend. Fuck it. Why not? But I guess contracts are contracts, and also maybe the team wouldn't want to risk putting a rookie in the car, and, you know, maybe Alonso does want to get as much time in the car as possible considering how much lack of time they have had. Excuse me. What's the new order FIA gave for qualifying? So yeah, FIA have changed the energy harvesting, I think it is, for... Or is it deployment or harvesting for qualifying for this race? The first time they've adjusted something well, they tried to adjust something in Australia and they reverted it, but their first time properly adjusting something this season. I need someone to give me a proper rundown, but apparently I feel like they've reduced, they lowered the harvesting. So that's worse, right? Isn't it? Doesn't that then mean they're going to clip more because they can't harvest as much battery? How does that work? The guy in the Macarena wing is frying me. Wait, was there a guy dressed up as one? I need to see that. I'm sure that'll be in Discord soon. I don't expect many special deliveries for the first half of the year, to be honest. You reckon? I reckon we'll get a fuck ton in Miami, as per usual. The thing is, though, VCarb did a special delivery in Miami last year for the spring edition can. For the summer edition can. I wonder if they'll do one again this year, but then they'll end up being special deliveries in back-to-back races. So then I'm like, maybe they'll do it on the Red Bull. You know, maybe they've done the spring edition on the VCarb. They're gonna do the summer edition on the Red Bull. Maybe. Fan wearing a Macarena wing hat. That was hilarious. Okay, I need to see that. Chuck that in the Discord. How's it going though? Hey there, welcome to the stream. What's up, Mike? Decrease harvesting to focus more on drive performance, only on quality though. Wouldn't decreasing harvesting be bad though? Shouldn't they reduce, I guess, harvesting, but then, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Wait, what up is Jack Crawford running? Oh, 34. I thought he was rocking 14 for a second. Jack Crawford, 2026, he's a Formula 1 Aston Martin third drive. In 2025, he plays second in Formula 2. In 2024, he plays fifth in Formula 2. And in 2023, he plays 13th in Formula 2. Yeah. Again, I'm pretty critical of Jack just because he had 3 years in F2, still couldn't win the championship. And in his first 2 years, didn't do amazingly. I guess fifth isn't too bad in his second year. But his first year was disappointing. And I never really rated him F3 either. Tammy, hey there. Erageth is for Enko, DRX, Joshy Boy, Senara. I think that's the follows. Sarah is sandbagging this weekend. Wait, what do you mean by that? A lot of Flovers on the red wing. Oh. Hadja complaining and we're not even 6 minutes into practice. Nice. Why don't Lewis post his new helmet? Has he? Has he got a new helmet? I don't get this. A lot of drivers actually do this. They don't post. They don't do a post of their new helmet until after the first session. Interesting. Good spot. Who else has a special helmet? Gasly. Hadja. Oh, Hadja's is so nice. I want to eat Hadja's helmet. Holy. Oh, then Alpine are cooking again. It's been 2 minutes. Calm down. Can't reduce deployment because there's the whole point of it. But I guess reducing deployment also reduces deployment. Just fuck regardless. I'm assuming you meant harvesting. I guess it's maybe linked to the sale of the mini helmets they do. Maybe. Whoa, that was a lot of lifting there into the chicane. Is that because Russell's not pushing, or is that them genuinely lifting to try get as much harvesting before the main straight into the S section? That's dead. I really want to ride on board through 130R. I really want to see how poo 130R is now. Caesar, what is up? 130R is flat? Is that, I wasn't paying attention. Did he go through it flat? Bottas got the sausage party helmet. Wait, what? Okay, I need to catch up on Discord. I feel like I'm so behind in the F1 world at the moment. Look, I had just helmet. Oh, I want to eat it. Whoa. To be fair, his tires were cold and he was on the curb. Someone's going off there this weekend. Have you seen the sides yet? I've only seen the top from the onboard. Russell has talked about the changes in interview somewhere. Right, okay. Russell and Hazen is already 7/10 up. Yeah, I mean, you don't know who's pushing, who's not, but... Month break after this race is crazy dead. Yeah, I mean, as a content creator, it sucks. Obviously, like, building up so much momentum for 3 months and then just, like, nothing for a month. And then you got one race and then a 2-week break. Ugh. wait, hold that thought. I'm not a huge fan of the Haas. It's so funny, man. People are so. I actually think hate comments are getting, or like stupid comments are getting to me now. But yeah, I posted my reaction to the Haas Godzilla livery, and keep in mind they posted at 4 a.m. so I wasn't live for it, and I literally said in the video, I was like, oh, this is really clean. Well done, Haas. Nice work. Actually, I really like that livery. But I do feel like they should have done more with it. Like, they hyped it up. They did an event. And it is kind of just like a little Godzilla on the side of the car. And the comments are like, what more do you want them to do? This is a banging special livery. What a dead reaction. How do you think this is not good? And I'm like, did you even listen to what I said? I literally said it was good. I just thought it could have been better. And it's so funny because when Ferrari do a special livery like that, or Red Bull did their special liveries like that, or Alpine do a special livery like that, everyone's always like, ah, ah, that's not a special livery. And then Haas add Godzilla on the side, and they're like, that is sick. So that was my point. I think it looks good. Now that I'm seeing it on track, I don't think it looks as good, to be honest. But when they released it, I was like, damn, this actually looks really clean. I just wish they did more. Because again, for a special livery of Godzilla, I wanted fucking Godzilla like eating the car or some shit. Instead, it was just like Godzilla on the side with some text. But yeah, also in the video, I said, I wish the livery was black and red. And the comments were like, is this guy blind? There's black and red on the car. No, you fucking idiot. The car is predominantly white with red and black on it. I said I wanted the car to be black and red. I swear, man, I swear. People tilt me. If it has been blowing up, numbers of idiots naturally increase alongside. Yeah, true, true. No, but do you know what? Do you know what the one that got to me, bro? Do you know? No, do you know why? Do you know the one that got to me was someone commented dead reaction, and then someone replied, "What do you expect from a Red Bull fan?" And then someone else commented, "Have you seen Ponden's videos? Bro hates everything." And I was just like, oh, okay, sick, bro, sick. We've got haters now. But yeah, like you said, the more your stuff gets viewed, the more idiots it attracts, bro. Sub Panda, good to see you, dude. Glad Max would likely leave F1 soon for GTWC or whack. Well, we got driver quotes now at the bottom of the screen. This is one of the best circuits in the world. Yeah, honestly, watching Max and NLS last week was so fucking cool. I absolutely loved that stream. One of my, generally, I still cannot believe that was one of my best streams of all time. A GT3 race with one F1 driver in it. You know, not IndyCar, not Formula E, not WEC, not NASCAR, not a big name series. NLS with Max Verstappen in it. We were chilling at like 800 viewers the whole time, 1,000 peak viewers, like fucking insane. You know, I've already been expanding out into other motorsports this year. I did an IndyCar stream, which went really well. 2 Formula E streams, which went well. So yeah, I'm very excited to watch more motorsports this year. And if Max ends up moving series, you know, like I will definitely be watching them. But yeah. I still can't believe that stream. That stream is fucking nuts. The hard car on George's shoulder in that graphic pisses me off. Getting haters means you're moving up even more, yeah. I think the problem is I just like, ooh, that Aramco sponsor board is way too sharp. Wait, look at the front wing, guys. Look at the front. Oh, they cut. Cut to some kids in the crowd. Yeah, the front wing of the Mercedes is kind of funny with the wolf, and then like when it comes up, when it activates, when Activera activates, you can see the wolf's eyes. Hi Netflix superstar, what's up, Rit Wicker? How's it going, dude? I've still only watched episode 1 of Trying to Survive. I need to lock in. Did you have a good week off? Yeah. What did I do this week? Monday we streamed. Tuesday. What did I do Tuesday? Oh yeah, Tuesday I went out. Wednesday, me and the housemate used my gym guest passes. They came to the gym with me. which was nice. It was a good day, just chilling there. And then what was yesterday? Oh, then Thursday. Oh, it was yesterday. Yeah, did fuck all. Well, when I say did fuck all, I did nothing other than just get everything prepared for this weekend. How was your week? Williams is actually working. Finally. Aaron sent a portal to the stream. More viewers are on the way. What is that? What the hell is a portal? I don't know what that is, but Aaron, thank you for that. Do Ortega, New Keep. Thank you guys for the follows. What does that have to do with being a Red Bull fan? Jesus Christ, I know people are weird. That's what I mean. Like, honestly, like, it's getting to the point now where people just see Red Bull jersey or Red Bull fan, Max fan, Liam fan, and just think you cannot comment on another driver without it coming across as hating. So dumb. But yeah. We haven't seen Max to the best yet. All the pros were at Sebring. Yeah, I mean, I think Nürburgring 24 hours is going to be insane. Wait, more stuff wrong with Lando's car? No way. Wait, he's still not out. You're right. Neither has Crawford come out yet. Ocon, Albon, and Bortoleto on the outlet right now. Colapinto's hopped out the car as well. Check out Bottas' helmet. Yeah, we'll look at everything after this session. W viewbot? Yeah, what does that even mean? Oh, Max having a big snap there. He waved his hand as well. Cameraman, wake up. He waves his hand, right? No?
McLaren keep getting Oscar's car confused with Lando's and breaking Lando's car two-tongue.
True. Josh, what is up, dude? Thank you so much for the 16-month resub at Prime. Appreciate your support. How you doing, dude? How's life been? Great to see you popping in the chat. But yeah, you're right. I think that, you know, we're the sabotage claims now, Piastri fans. We're the sabotage claims claims now, bro. Do you think Max would drive LMH? LMH meaning what? The hypercars and WAC? Is that what you meant? They took the tires and rakes off the car. People love stereotypes have taken over when it comes to who can have an opinion. Yeah, Flover's livery on the Red Bull. Yeah, the green's kind of fire on the rail. Wait, yeah, they're taking apart Lando's car again. What is happening? This is what happens when you become world champ, man. Guys, how long until the practice session starts? Oh, it starts in 44 minutes, dude. 44 minutes, it will start. How's it going, Ryan? Nah, I hate trolling people. Whoever asked that, the session has already started, man. Yeah, LMH and LMDH are IMSA session work hypercars. Right, I see. Would you be doing an Indy 500 stream? Yes, we're going to be live for Indy 500. It is the same weekend as Canada, so it will be a very long stream, Canada into Indy 500, like we did last year. Yeah, I'll be live for Indy 500 this year. Well, all IndyCar sessions that don't clash with F1. All WEC sessions that don't clash with F1. And any NLS races that Verstappen race in. Even if Max isn't racing, I'll still race in it if the team's racing in it. Lando spilled his Monster over the electricals. That's what you get for drinking Monster. Oh, there's a bit of plastic hanging off the back of the Williams. They're teasing the Lime Special Edition, the Reef X race. See, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be on the Red Bull, man. It's going to be on the Red Bull, not on the V-Cup. I'm calling it right now. Mercedes sabotaging their customer teams. I wouldn't say they're sabotaging, but they're definitely playing the game, which is fair to do. Is it fair, though? Considering there's no rules for it, it's fair to do. But it is a bit of a joke. Maybe they just shouldn't have customer teams in F1. Problem solved. Now, I don't know. After seeing how the season's played out so far, Mercedes versus the other Mercedes-powered cars, what is actually wrong with TikTok? I'm literally standing here talking with my own audio, with my own voice, and you're giving me a fucking suspension for 10 minutes. For what? I'm literally... It's gotten so bad after the last update. All right, TikTok, restart the stream. Be back, guys. I'll be back. Be sure to follow if you haven't already. Come join us on Twitch. That's the first time it's happened when I'm literally just doing my own thing. What do you want from me, bro? What do you want from me, TikTok? What do you want from me? Do your own engine, problem solved. Yeah, but this is the thing. Part of me wants to be like, well, just do your own engine. But F1's so expensive. Like it's hard for teams to do that, and for a lot of teams or brands would leave the sport. I don't know why. Like there should just be a rule of like the engine that Mercedes make has to be supplied to the other teams, and there has to be fully the same. Give them all the information. Like if Mercedes, this is my logic. If Mercedes want to be a customer team, sorry, what's the word? A selling team, a seller team? Yeah. If Mercedes want to be a team that sells their engine to the other teams, you should give the full engine, you should be a fucking seller. You know what I mean? You should actually act as a proper engine supplier. If you don't want to supply your engine, don't supply your fucking engine to the other teams then. But as I've learned recently, apparently F1 has a rule, which I've just learned recently, that the team that supplies the least amount of engines has to supply a team if they don't have an engine supplier. So for instance, Cadillac, when they entered the sport, Ferrari was supplying the least amount of teams. So they had to supply Cadillac. But Audi only have one. Honda only have one. Red Bull only have two. Yeah, they were all given an exemption because they were entering the sport for the first time. So it was between Ferrari and Mercedes. And Ferrari had the least amount. So that's why Cadillac are supplied by Ferrari. So Mercedes, I don't even think can tell the other teams to fuck off because they're kind of forced to be a supplier team. But yeah, I don't know. It's really frustrating how Mercedes are treating the other Mercedes teams, powered teams this year. Legolas Kobe, what's up, guys? I forgot what is the green paint for. So the green paint is called Flovers. They put it on the car, and then when the car drives around the track, the paint flows where the air travels, and then they can look at that paint and see where the air travels over the car. Oscar's looking good, just to not start the race again. I mean, he's up there with the boys, but he's on mediums. I don't think people realize most car manufacturers operate at nearly a loss / break, even if it's not that easy to just open an engine department. Yeah, exactly. Red Bull V car being equal competitors is hilarious to me. What's your guys' thoughts? I'm not saying I want this, right? So get off my dick. I feel like I have to preface everything now. I'm not saying I want this or this should be the case, but I'm just speaking out loud here. What's your thoughts on if F1 made a engine, right? So they worked with a manufacturer to make an engine, develop an engine, right? They go, all right, it's going to be 6-cylinder. I don't know any terminology with engines, but it's going to be 6 cylinders. It's going to be this compression ratio. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. this material, that material, and then all the manufacturers make their own engine. Is that possible? So it's a spec series, but they all make their own engine and put their own logo on it. Is that possible? Or does that just make no sense? So like Mercedes, Red Bull, Honda, blah blah blah. Even then McLaren can make their own engine, and they just all make the exact same engine, but it's just their own engine, developed by them, with their logo on it. Does that even make sense? That's a spec series, the whole point of F1. Well, this is my question. A spec series, so let's go to IndyCar. You've got two engine suppliers. You've got Honda and you've got Chevrolet, right? You go to, and that is obviously spec aero, and then there's only two engine suppliers. Then you go to for F2, they're all mechachrome. But what I'm saying is like they all develop the same engine, the exact same engine. But that solves the problem of like, let's say Mercedes, like, okay, let's say we made F1 as engine supplier series, right? Hypothetically, theoretically. Then you'd have to put a Mercedes in the back of a Red Bull, a Mercedes in the back of a Ferrari. Ferrari wouldn't want that. Red Bull wouldn't want that. So my point is like, is there a way we can make it like everyone develops their own engine, but everyone just follows the same rules? So all the engines are the same. So it is a spec series engine, but they're all developing their own engine, maybe in terms of reliability. So the only difference is the reliability and the, again, then that solves the problem of these teams being like, I don't want to rock that engine in the back of my car. Could F1, my point is, F1 is all about innovation, being the best, the fastest cars in the world, blah, blah, blah. Do you guys feel like engine race and engine development has ruined Formula One? Like, I don't know enough about, whoa, Norris way off track. I don't know enough about engines and road cars, let alone F1 cars, to really like come to a proper decision on this. But I feel like I came to the sport in 2019 and all I heard was, the Mercedes engine is too strong. Mercedes is too, there's too much discrepancy between the field. Customers, team, like brands don't want to enter into Formula One because it's too expensive for the engine. And then we had the engine freeze and the sport was pretty good. And now we've come out of that engine freeze and we've got another team dominating. We've got 3 teams not happy that team's supplying them a terrible engine. We've got reliability problems here. We got fans are upset. The engine, and it feels like all the problems are coming from the engine. Again, I'm just speaking out loud, but like, what if we just made F1 a spec engine series and keep it an aerodynamic development series? But again, that's me speaking out loud. Gotta love the Japanese fans, man. Is it possible to win? I do believe Merck is playing games. They're being smart. That's what I mean. I don't blame Merck for what they're doing. But it is kind of shit for the sport and shit for those teams that you pay for a service and you don't get the full service. And then, yeah, it's simple to be like, well, make your own engine then. Well, then they'd fucking just leave the sport if they had to. What if all the teams use same one engine manufacturer? Well, again, Red Bull wouldn't want a Mercedes engine in the back. Ferrari wouldn't want a Mercedes engine in the back. I feel like F1, it makes no sense to car basically the engines are Chevy or Honda and the cars are basically stocked. The only thing they can change are the dampers. Toto's playing it by the book, so there's nothing wrong there. So, I mean, I don't blame Mercedes, but it's still dumb. Still the same engine, bro, just manufactured in a different place. Does that kill the innovation on the engine side? Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I guess my question is engine innovation and development ruining Formula One? Because we've heard Porsche didn't want to enter Formula One because of engines. Audi didn't want to enter Formula One for the longest time because of engine stuff. Who else doesn't want to enter Formula One because of the whole engine situation? I think they need to take off the restrictions, say have it at it, but I also think they should have let Roden join F1. Part of the issue seems to be the focus on developing tech useful for road cars in the future rather than focusing on the racing. True. Again, a problem with the engines. Because you don't see F1 teams being like, oh, well, these aero regs don't let us develop aero for our road cars. No one gives a fuck. They just make the fastest race car. But when they're talking about engines, it's like, oh, well, we're going to leave the sport because this doesn't help our road car development, which is a completely fair point to make. But also it's a sport, like grow up and like make the best fucking car. But again, F1's so expensive, say a team like Audi or any brand, for instance, doesn't want to enter in Formula One at such a big loss with such little gain for their road car company, other than marketing. Piang, they with the wallet. Lifting and downshifting in 130R. I'm so done. Wait. I'm gonna keep my eye on Hulk here. I need to actually look at 130R for the first time today. Okay, here we go. Don't cut. Don't you dare cut. Fuck, they cut off and they cut the audio. Are you kidding me? I've always lived in the UK. Did you move for F1? I moved 2 years ago. Cirrus Jerk Spice. I think I'm forgetting that Arrow is a territory thing. And F1, it was originally an engine thing where Arrow came about way later. And this is the first reg title we see where one engine isn't drastically better than the other engines. Give them all the same engine. So making an Arrow thing just isn't F1, you reckon? Aero used to mean so much more. Now the engine is like 70% of the car. See, I feel like you've got differing opinions there. Like Gloppen saying it was always about the engine. But like now I feel like yep, he's not full throttle through 130R. What is that? And then he's full lifting into the chicane. So dead, bro. I personally think the engine plays too much of a part in a Formula 1 car nowadays. For an aero, for a series that I think should be all about aero, at the end of the day, motorsport, I think, should be about the drivers. Formula 1 is about developing the cars, and I think the most exciting part about a Formula 1 car is the aero. Because we can see it as fans. The aero is what makes a Formula 1 car so quick in the corners that no other Formula 1 car... that no other motorsport series can match, right? Like, fuck, if you want to make the fucking best engine, go watch drag racing. Like, I don't know. Like, I really feel like I don't know. Again, like, I would probably need to know more about engines to have a proper like conclusion of my opinion on this, but it just really feels like F1 is like 70% about engines now. And the second we froze the engines in 2022 or whatever year it was, the sport was a lot better in that sense.
Hey Ponden.
I never throw it out
Hope
the
you're
window.
well. Just finished my day at Virgin Australia. Rainy day but good. Thoughts on the change for qualifying?
And thank you so much for the 100 bits. Glad you had a good day, dude. Thoughts on the change for qualifying? I don't really know what's changed. I haven't had a read through the article yet, so I will let you know soon when I do. But I'm glad that they're making it more down to the driver, but I don't really understand how what they've done affects anything. I'm a bit confused, so I have to have a read. CR7, thank you for the follow. 2001 driver, I must become one with the machine. Car, V10, screaming like a banshee. 2026 driver, hey, what's my battery deployment delta for turn 7? Yeah. Just leave the regulations in place long and the field will even out. I think teams that can't build their own engines shouldn't be in this sport. But then we'd only have Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, Audi, Honda. We'd only have 5 teams in the sport. Like, how can you expect VCarb to make their own engine? They'd be gone. Williams would make their own engine. They'd be gone. Alpine would probably bring their engine back, so let's say 6 teams. Haas, unless they work with Toyota, they're gone. Cadillac, well, they make their own engine, so let's say 7 teams. McLaren would probably make their own engine, actually, so we'd have 8 teams. But yeah, we'd lose VCARB, would lose Haas, and we'd lose Williams. So look, to be fair, that could work. McLaren might make their own engine. What's up with Arbin? Whoa. Oh my god, he did well to save that. Yeah, maybe if all the teams were forced to make their own engine, McLaren would probably make their own because they would want to stay in F1. Cadillac are going to make their own soon anyway. Alpine probably would have not left and just kept making Renault engines. And then, yeah, would lose VCARB, which would be a shame. But then again, they're not a car manufacturer, so would it be that big of a loss to the grid? We'd lose Williams. I mean, maybe Williams would be one of the only non-car brands to stay on the grid and make their own engine, but they probably would have pulled out. Haas, peace out. They would have maybe partnered with Toyota, kind of like what Red Bull's done with Ford. It could work. It could work. We would just need a team to come on the grid and replace VCARB, really. But that is talking about right now. This is perfect world Formula One. That is 8 teams. If you go back to what year was it? 2022? Whatever year it was, we would have 100% lost McLaren. They would have not. I don't think they would have committed to making their own engine if in the position they were in back in 2022. Sauber wouldn't have made their own engine. Haas definitely not. Williams definitely not. Cadillac wasn't in the sport. Yeah. Do you think the boys in red have a chance to win Suzuka? I think so. How's it going? Pop Bat, welcome to the stream. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is a much higher downforce track. I think this is one of Ferrari's best chances this year. Is F1 TV down? Not for me. More aero equals more dirty air and worse racing. The only part moving the car forward is playing to be a part. Drag racing is a good example. Best engine. If you're still hating the new regs after seeing the Ferrari pass and repass the last race, I don't know what to tell you. Jeez. I was so engrossed in conversation, I didn't realize what the fuck just happened. He is so lucky to avoid damage there. What the fuck? Wait, that's a pretty heavy shunt on the rear suspension there to have gotten away with. Jeez. That could have been bad. Hot take here. I don't care about how these cars drive around the circuit and slowing on the straight. I just care that the racing is better and we as fans get more enjoyment. I don't know if that's a hot take. I feel like that is the majority of people's takes at the moment. I think majority of people's take. I mean, you literally just read that guy's comment before. If you're still hating the new regs after seeing the Ferrari pass and repasses last race, I don't know what to tell you. I think that's the majority of fans' opinions from what I can see on Twitter. You know, I was getting ripped apart in the fucking last fan reaction video. I'm seeing people like Matt and Tommy getting rinsed on Twitter for their takes. I'm seeing, you know, majority of the diehard F1, not diehard F1 pundits, like diehard, what's the word? People who've been in the sport for ages, like Max Verstappen, Martin Brundle, Jolyon Palmer, David Coulthard. Like, all these people are saying this doesn't feel like Formula One. And majority of the fans, which are now, you know, like any sport, the casual, more, I want to watch for entertainment reasons, fans are obviously like, well, shut the fuck up, get out the sport then. And, you know, we've kind of got this shift of like, well, yeah, the racing is better. And like, you know, I'm loving watching the racing. But at the same time, like, you know, I think for me, like, probably the biggest, you know, we'll probably talk about it more when we get to Lewis Hamilton's quote. Actually, let's talk about it now. Lewis Hamilton this weekend said that This is the best Formula One's been. Well, again, I'm just rough quoting him, but he's like, this is the best Formula One's been. His favorite battle was last week in China, since his battle with Nico Rosberg in 2014. He said it really reminds him of karting, pure racing, back-to-back yo-yoing, which is great. Which is great to hear him say that. But I don't know how you can say it's the same as karting when karting comes down to purely how you drive. A collab and a snap, they're going off track. Whereas karting comes purely down to how you drive, and these cars obviously come a lot down to the battery and stuff like that. What was Russell waffling about, bro? No, that's not what he said. Okay, let me get the quote up. Sky Sports. The race I had with Charles just in the second race was one of the most fun races I ever had. I think other than that was maybe me and Nico in Bahrain many years ago, 2014. So I just hope that we get more of that, because that's what racing is about. It's like the back and forth rather than one overtake and then it's over. So I personally enjoyed that. Oh, well, where's the part you said about fucking karting, bro? Lewis Hamilton, Japan, karting quote. No one has ever referred to go-karting as yo-yo racing. It's the best form of racing, and Formula One has not had the best form of racing in a long, long time. Out of all the cars that I've driven in 20 years, this is the only car that you can actually follow through high-speed corners and completely lose everything that you have in terms of grip, and you can stay behind. I mean, to be fair, I agree with him. I completely agree with. I think these cars are so good at following. It's such a shame that the battery plays and the engine plays such a big part in them, because these cars would be so good at following. Some drivers, I think a lot of drivers are not enjoying it, but I'm just personally enjoying it. It's a lighter car, they're more nimble, they're more fun to drive. Do I love the power deployment? Absolutely not. I actually really dislike that. Do I love the straight line mode? Not particularly, but as a whole, I think it's exciting for the sport in a time where the sport is at the highest. You know, yeah, I mean, I take back what I said, I guess. He I obviously didn't read the quote in full, and just saw the kind of karting thing mixed in with the other stuff, and I was just kind of like, well, why is bro referring to these cars being like karting when it's completely different? But no, he like what Lewis says about the cars following is so true. Like these cars are so much better at following, and I just think it's such a shame about the battery playing such a big part in it. Oh, why did the Williams do that? Wait, what? Why is the Williams doing that? What? Who's that? What's he doing? Usually I'm like, look, I don't want to say this because it's Liam. Usually I'm like, oh, who gives a fuck, bro? It's practice. But why would the Williams overtake and then just sit in front of him? What was the point in that? What was the point in that? Anyways, to answer your question, or not to answer your question, but to respond to what you said, Lopin, about the hot take. I don't think it's a hot take at the moment. I'd say like 60 to 70% of fans don't give a fuck about the way these cars drive as long as it's entertaining. And then I'd say there's probably the 20% loudmouth old school fans who are very like, fuck these cars, fuck these regs, fuck EV, fuck everything, who've been complaining for years. You know what I mean? Like, I guarantee you, majority of those die-hard complainers at the moment are people who weren't even watching the sport anyway. Like, let's say Jeremy Clarkson. You know what I mean? He's been complaining about F1 for fucking years and years and years. So him complaining about F1 now doesn't change anything. You know what I mean? Like he's been complaining for fucking forever. you know, those people, they hate EV. Their mind, electric cars. Their mind's not going to change. So like, who cares about their opinion? And then you've got the 20%. I'd say people like myself, people like David Coulthard, like Martin Brundle, who like are really excited watching these races, but it's so tragic watching a qualifying lap and just like lifting and, you know, turning the corners. And I think the biggest problem for me is not understanding what's going on. Like China, I'm watching a battle between Charles and Lewis, right? But I don't know why that's happening and how that's happening. And I know someone in chat's going to be like, just watch it and enjoy it. But like, I watch a sport because I want to see people's skill being shown. And if I don't know what's happening and why it's happening, I can't enjoy that aspect of the sport, in my opinion. Like, for instance, if you play football and you grow up playing football and you know how hard it is to kick a ball, you know how hard it is to fucking bend the ball, you know how hard it is to do a skill move around a player. When you watch football and you see someone do something, you can just appreciate it so much more and enjoy it so much more. Whereas 6-year-old granny watching football who doesn't understand it just goes, yo, that was a good kick. You know what I mean? And like, what I love about Formula One is like seeing when someone hits the apex and like, you know, when a driver like Max or like Alonso or whoever does a move and you're like, fuck yeah, that was so good. Whereas in China, I was enjoying the battle between Lewis and Charles, but like, I'm not sitting there going, wow, that was so skillful from Leclerc. Oh, the way he did that, the way he did the switchback, like this and the other. It's like, I don't know what's happening and why it's happening. It's entertaining, but I don't know why. Yeah. So that's my problem. Is it's like it's entertaining, but it's like it's kind of lost that like touch of like skill. You know what I mean? Like I guess the best example I can give is WWE. I know it's very fucking shit comparison, but like, you know, you could just say shut up, watch WWE, enjoy it for the entertainment. But like, it's really hard in the back of your mind to like watch that knowing it's not real. But in this case, obviously F1 is real. Like, it's not fucking, we're not fake racing here, obviously. But I don't know what I'm watching at the moment. I don't know when it's battery being deployed. I don't know when it's a driver's skill. You know, they're lifting in certain corners. Like, it's so much down to the car. So when a battle happens, I'm kind of like, why is that happening? You know what I mean? I think for me, I need context to be like wowed. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you watch a pole lap, I guess my question is for anyone who's like, oh, just sit down and shut up and watch the racing. When you sit down and watch qualifying and you see a driver put 7/10 on the car behind, do you just go, wow, what a lap? Or is it the way they got that 7/10? You know what I mean? And I think it's the way they get that 7/10, so it's the way they get that pole position that makes Formula One entertaining to watch, or that how they get the overtake done, how they defend the car behind that wows me. And I think defending using a battery doesn't wow me. Going for an overtake down a straight with a battery doesn't wow me. And I just think that's where I am with the regs, where like I can be entertained, but it loses that touch for me. You know what needs to change? Tires. They don't die. I agree. I think from the moment I started watching the sport to not so much this year. I think the biggest problem this year is the batteries. But I generally think the biggest problem of the last like 6-7 years is the fucking tires. Fuck Pirelli. One-stop races are dog shit. Going the whole race on medium and hard tires is dog shit. A soft tire that can't last a single lap, but a hard tire that can last the whole race is dog shit. Only 2 compounds being used the whole weekend is dog shit. The tires suck. I know it's early season and car is shit, but I'm surprised and happy Hadja can keep up with Max. No, Hadja's doing so well. Honestly, I did not expect that. Have we already talked about Max's crash out? Not yet. Surprisingly, we have not yet. I want the F1 formula to keep evolving. I don't want the same regulations for all the time because that would get stale. I want them to think of these innovations. Well, something I asked you guys was like, would you guys want 2-yearly reg cycles? So every 2 years we have a new regs, and that way it keeps teams on their toes, and we have that kind of development race, kind of what we had this year. Again, I'm not saying I want this. I'm just talking out loud. But like that, what we had at the start of this year, where it's like all this hype. Oh, who's going to bring what parts? Who's going to be at the top? Change in pecking order, all this, and then a 2-year season, and then we go again. Part of me is like, I wouldn't mind that, but then I think back to 22, then I think back to this year, then I think back to 2014, and every single time there's just one team dominating, and it's like, I don't want that. If we can find out a way to make the pecking order closer, but also keeping the innovation of Formula One of a 2-year cycle would be really, really cool. But again, like the pro of newness, pecking order change, development race, the con is you get a big field spread. So then the argument is, why don't we just see? This is the thing, right? This is the biggest contradiction about Formula One, right? Is I think we can all agree Formula One is about innovation, about pushing these cars to the max, about the development race, right? That is what Formula One is at the core. If you make Formula One a spec series, everyone is going to say, this is not Formula One. But then we sit here every single fucking year going, these cars are dog shit. The pecking order's too, the field spread is too much. So, you know what I mean? If put it this way, if we kept Formula One, if we kept the last regs, right, the 2025 regs into 2026, into 2027, into 2028, we would have a close field, a close championship, a very close Formula One. But there would be no development race. Everyone's maxed out what they can do with the cars. There'd be no development race. There would be, like minimal difference between the cars, and we'd be using those dog shit, hard to follow cars, and everyone would still be complaining. And now we mix it up, and it's like, fuck, now the pecking order sucks. It's like, right, that's the biggest contradiction in Formula One, is Formula One needs to just decide, like, hey, we're a series about innovation and developing the car, and, like, we're going to make this sport so much about that, and we're gonna, change regs every few years and keep it fresh and keep it all about the development race, or just move it more towards a spec series and bring it more down to about the drivers and a closer pecking order. Who gave permission for Nico to cook? I've not even been paying attention. Lawson best the rest. That's what we like to see. As someone who's new to Formula One, why is the prize money hidden for races? It's very confusing because it's a $1 billion industry. Hidden for races? There's no prize money given out for races. It's given out to the constructors. If you Google F1 constructors prize money, you'll get the rundown. So I'm just catching up on all the mess I missed in chat while I was yapping away. I'm sorry, but that's not the majority take. 90% are hating on it. I think you're wrong, Glopper. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, maybe, unless maybe there's a poll out there someone can find, but yeah, if you go on Chris's latest video, I would say 90% of the comments are people saying that was an amazing race and shitting on us, who were, specifically me, who were saying the cars were not great. And on Twitter, all I see is people shitting on anyone who comments on the regs. Yeah. But I also see a lot of people hating on the cars and the regs and the batteries. But again, I think that's coming from non-F1 watchers. So maybe overall it's 50-50. If you took every single person in the world, it would be a 50-50 split. But I think from people who actually watch Formula One, I think 70% of people like these regs. That's right. Like what they're watching every single week. I think the main people who are complaining is people who just never like Formula One, never like fucking EV cars and stuff like that. You could argue that it hasn't been F1 since the naturally aspirated V10 engines. No, there is science to Formula One because it solves a formula to get the fastest car on track. These variants have honestly eliminated a part of the science that happens to get these cars the fastest possible. Fair, fair. Where do you get that jersey? This is a Red Bull Sim Racing jersey. The biggest downside of the early morning free practice session, they can be very unmotivating compared to the normal time of day. Well, yeah, I was literally thinking like, it sucks that I have to be way more quiet, but I usually love practice sessions and yapping. I mean, we're having a good yap right now, but it's also 3 a.m. Lack of energy compared to normal. Ooh, good lap from McLaren there. Good lap from McLaren there. Oh, Williams round. Jeremy Bahrain 23 said F1 was terrible for years, but now he enjoys it again. He likes it that he can follow again. You eventually understand what's happening, but 6% of F1 fans most definitely do not support these regs. It's majority hating, but more and more of these haters are turning, though. F1 is now built in rubber band effect like Gran Turismo. There'll always be a drive to context for F1 where when their steering wheels are full of 100 buttons compared to single row cars. Did he spin from dirty air? What's happened there? No way they hit. No way they hit in practice. Are we okay? Albon? Albon having his weekly fucking brain off moment. What is he doing? Doesn't matter if you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm defending Perez here. Doesn't matter if Perez doesn't know he's there. Why does it matter? I mean, yeah, you could argue. Perez could have maybe been paying more attention, but why is it Perez's responsibility to look at a car going up his inside when they were both on cooldown laps / warm-up laps? Like what? Like Perez about to start his lap and then Albon decided to send it down his inside? Am I wrong? Or was Albon on a push lap? To us, it was hard to tell because they were both fucking lifting. Grow your beard out, brother. What does that even mean? Are you like a fucking outback American? What does that even mean? Bro's never seen a clean short beard in his life. I mean, with the name Bourbon, I wouldn't be. I'm not surprised. Easy, less restrictions in the regulations and keep them longer. I don't want a spec series. That's my worst option. I watch for the engineering, the ability to become better. F1 is about 70% engineering, 30% drivers. They could still develop and innovate if the regulations were less strict. Maybe we could have a big overhaul like this year with engine battery aero, but then each year after involved a special heat tweak. So 2027 season would be like 2026B, but maybe only aero regs. Yeah, I like that. I don't think that F1 has been about innovation for a while. If I'm being honest, the cars aren't focused on building the fastest cars in the world anymore. They aren't the most innovative with hybrid engines. They aren't really innovating anything that isn't already in other series. I think F1. I think fans would love a spec series, but how much money would leave the sport? Yeah, true. Man, I can't even talk anymore because I'm just eating like Taco Bell. I think aero regs are good. The engine ones are dog shit. Yeah, just like the people who enjoy basketball over football because they score more points per game, so it must be better. I mean, that's to be honest, that's a valid opinion. You know, some people literally can't stand football because, you know, the games end 1-1, and they prefer to watch basketball where it's dunk, shoot, dunk, shoot. But you know, I would say I'm on the other side of things where I don't find watching a player dunk and shoot a 100 times a match as entertaining as like a tactical match where they're passing the ball around and when this goal is scored, it's fucking epic because it rarely happens. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that I want Formula One to be a sport where there's no overtaking and then there's one overtake and it's fucking epic. I want the back and forth racing, but I want the back and forth racing to mean something. Like F1 posting a 400 overtakes this race when half the overtakes are just overtakes on a straight, like, mean fuck all to me. Still hoping Lewis hits George on turn 1 and they both have to retire the car. Whoa. S Golden, you really want this crash, don't you? So McLaren is just in front of Ferrari all of a sudden. Oh, Max off track again. Yeah, McLaren look good this weekend. So far. Spec series exist though, and they aren't as popular. I'm here for the engineering if you want spec racing. But is spec series not as popular because it's a spec series, or a spec series not as popular because it's not as popular and quick and pinnacle as Formula One? But again, I'll ask, what makes Formula One the pinnacle? Is it the engines? No. It's the speed in the corners. So again, coming back to a conversation we were literally having a little bit ago, but like, I still don't understand why Formula One isn't, well, Loppen said it's because the aerodynamic wash is worse. I don't know, so maybe it wasn't Loppen. Someone in chat said the aerodynamic, more aero on the car makes the racing worse because it's more dirty air behind. But like, putting that aside, my question is like, why isn't Formula One more focused on the aero then and like cornering speeds rather than fucking engine battles? I don't know. I think okay, regardless of if you like these regs or not, right? My question, whoa, 3 wide. What the fuck was that? Okay, my question, right? Regardless of if you like these regs or not, what is more entertaining or what's more interesting to follow development wise? Engine development or aero development? Because I feel like 90% of people are going to say aero development. Like, the aero is so cool. We can see it on the cars. You can see it on the cars. You can see the difference between the cars. An engine is stuck behind a fucking engine cover. You can't see it. And all the engine does is make your car quicker on a straight. Whereas the aero, like, it's not only the straight, but it's also the corners. It's chat delay like 5 minutes, and I'm just catching up on messages. What's up, Astro? Tristan, thank you for the follow. Phosphorco Acid, thank you for the follow as well. Yeah, wait, why are these guys doing this at FP1? That was risky as fuck. Well, it could have been worse. It could have been worse, Oscar. It could have been worse. This is what I love about medium-sized streamers like yourself. You'll like massively be behind reading chat, but you still spend time doing so, and the chat isn't moving at 200 miles per hour. Appreciate extra snipes. I mean, some people hate the fact that I go back and read chat. Like, oh my god, I'm going back and reading messages that people took time to write in chat. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely some times where I cannot read chat. It's way too crazy, but chilling in a practice session where we're literally just waffling and the whole goal is to have conversations. Like, I want to read every message or most messages because, you know, people took the time to write a message and, you know, I want to have a discussion about them. And this is usually the time where I spend the most time, like, going back and reading messages. But again, like, you know, there's a different reason for every creator. You know, some people love watching small streamers for that because they can have like a one-on-one personal chat almost with the streamer. And then some people like medium-sized streamers like myself where you can kind of get your message in chat. You can read chat properly. I read message in chat. Oh, yay, TikTok restricted me again. Bro, what is wrong? What is wrong? I'm actually gonna fucking crash out. My TikTok just got suspended again. I can't, man. You can't even stream on TikTok anymore. I haven't changed anything. Just the new updates fucked it. Oh, what's happened to Hadge? Is he being blocked? Yeah, he's gonna complain, isn't it? Can't remember what I was saying. Error, but when we get better error, it just makes the racing worse. I think error in F1 is less applicable to road cars and the engine to the team's camera about the development there. Yeah, that's what I mean. Again, it's just such a big conflict of interest or contradiction between what the fans want, what the brands want for their personal brand, and what's best for the sport. You know what I mean? Like, it's real hard. TikTok out to get, yeah, honestly. VCAR really giving Red Bull a run for their money? Yeah, honestly. Can someone tell which car is quickest in which sector? I'm sure there'll be a post that will come out. You're not even watching anything on the street? Yeah, I am. I didn't really spend too much time watching that session, though. I spent a lot of time yapping. Also, I don't understand the appeal of about TikTok streaming for like content such as these watch-alongs. I'll tell you why. Because that is how I grow my following on TikTok. And that's how I bring people from TikTok to my Twitch streams. And that is, if I'm not even kidding, I would not be streaming right now, probably. I probably wouldn't be a content creator anymore if it wasn't for TikTok. So, yeah. TikTok saves streaming for so many people. TikTok's my most followed platform now. TikTok gets my most monthly views. And yeah, TikTok's majorly helped in bringing people over to my Twitch streams and following and stuff like that. So that is why. But the app fucking sucks for streaming. Especially for someone like me who either sits here and just talks or watches videos. All right, guys, that is it for FP1. We spent a lot of time yapping. It was good. I like having conversations like that. I'm sure a lot of people, specifically you fucking YouTube viewers, I know some of you are going to watch the VOD and you're going to comment and be like, bro, spent the whole time talking about ranks. Bro, complained the whole time. No, that's called a discussion, man. That's called a discussion. And just because people are disagreeing with your opinion or chat about things doesn't mean they're complaining. But yeah, no, I love conversations like that. I love hearing what people think. I love kind of voicing my own opinions. It's good to talk about the regs. It is kind of like sort of getting a little bit, I don't know what the word is, like not repetitive, but it is kind of getting like, I don't know. To be honest, I actually don't think it's getting repetitive because like Australia was like our first time seeing the regs. You couldn't really come to a conclusion after Australia. And then China, we had like a very insane kind of weekend where, you know, it was so entertaining. And I think some people, this is my opinion on China, right? Was after Australia, everyone was like, guys, let's wait. Let's late. It's only the first race. Let's calm down. Let's not jump to conclusions here. The second China race happened, even though the qualifyings were poo, as soon as the races happened, everyone was instantly like, you know what? F1 is sick. And everyone just jumped to the conclusion that these regs are sick. And everyone who was on the fence, like me, or still critical, is like, nah, fuck you, get out. And I'm kind of just like, bro, like, it's the second race. Let's chill. Let's wait. But China was very entertaining. So anyways, my point is, I think like it's we're in this interesting spot where like people's opinions on the regs are changing like session by session, week by week. And especially now, we're gonna have a lot of changes to the regs. We're gonna have, you know, teams are gonna start figuring things out as well. I think it's very interesting. You know, it's almost changing every single week. You know, this week the conversation is gonna be all about the high downforce track. Like, what are these regs like at a high downforce track? Because I genuinely feel like these regs have been designed for high downforce. Like, I almost feel like they were like, what's the biggest problem in Formula One? Okay, the lack of overtaking at a high downforce track. And they just took Monaco, they took Hungary, they took Suzuka, and they're like, how can we make the racing better? I feel like they just designed these regs for these tracks. So I'm curious to see how it plays out. They used to get 1K viewers before TikTok started railing your TikTok streams restrictions ban. I mean, I still get like very solid viewership on TikTok. It's just I don't know what's happened in the last update 2 weeks ago, but I can't stream for more than 5 minutes without it just saying your stream sucks. Yeah. Twitch, where you prefer people to watch your content? Absolutely. I mean, Twitch is my main platform. Twitch is the best for like, well, maybe not the best for ad rates. Yeah, best for live ad rates. You know, it's where my community is. So like, you know, I could be a multi-streamer and just stream and not read any chat or read all the combined chat, but like Twitch is like my main place. Over the comments on Joseph Newgarden's new Instagram post and saw someone saying, I'm a straight man, but boy, oh boy. Joseph Newgarden is a good looking guy. The biggest gaps between teammates in the session are Pierre over Franco. Actually, let's do a rundown. So we've got Asaman at the bottom. Crawford 1.3 seconds off of, no, sorry, 1 second off his teammate. Then we got Cadillac. Damn, Aston behind Cadillac. Cadillac's moving up. Cadillac's moving up. We've got Williams at the back again. Then we've got the Alpine boys, kind of fallen off since last week. Behrman down on 14th, which is interesting after last week as well. Hadra in 13th, quite far off of Max. Then we've got Audi. Then we got the V-Car boys, best of the rest. Love to see that. And then Ocon, a big improvement from last week as well, or improvement on his teammate. Then we got Max. Then we got the Ferraris behind McLaren. So could Ferrari be behind McLaren this weekend? That'd be interesting considering I feel like Ferrari were almost not favorites, but like the talk was about Ferrari being close to Mercedes this week, and now they're behind McLaren in that session. Then we got the McLaren boys. Then we got the Mercedes boys. But very interesting. There's a two pairing, two pairing, two pairing, two pairing, two pairing, two, two, two. Everyone's kind of stuck together, which is very interesting, especially for a practice session. But yeah, let me finish reading chat before we move on. Here from TikTok, hell yeah. F1 needs more competition. 21 when the regs cut, Mercedes' aero was peak. Yeah, Ponden should let the beard grow. Wait, what do you mean let the beard grow, bro? I don't get it. I mean, I thought you were hate commenting before, so if you weren't, I apologize. But I thought you were saying like, bro, that's not a beard. Grow it out. What do you mean? What do you mean? That's a beard. It's just it's a trimmed beard. I hate long beard. It's like my beard gets too long, it fucking pisses me off. By no means do I disrespect you by calling you mid-size. I just came from M&T and to watch their reactions and felt like typing in chat was not worth it when I come to experience something new and fun. No, I didn't take it as, I didn't take it badly at all. I would class myself as a mid-size streamer. So yeah. But no, that's the thing. Like I think about how many. There's probably people like even he's probably watching the stream right now. I don't even know his name because he never fucking types in chat. There's a man who has like 1 million channel points on my stream and then redeemed whatever the fuck it was, permanent VIP, and he's never typed in chat before. You know what I mean? Like there's still people who probably think it's not worth talking in my chat, because they think it's too fast or I'm not gonna read it, or they just don't want to type in chat. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like that's probably one of the things I give the biggest advice to people who are starting streaming is they're always like, what should I do? Or like, how do I grow? Or like, you know, blah, blah. And it's like, honestly, like just enjoy the ride, because when you're a small streamer, like it's so fun to like build up a community. You can read every single message in chat. You can get to know your viewers personally. And then like the bigger you get, like you just lose that, you know what I mean? To the point where, you know, say you're Matt and Tommy, like, you literally can't read chat because it moves too quick, you know? So it's like, there's different types of streaming. And, you know, enjoy each era, I guess. I'm going to see if the changes in Miami decide. I'm waiting to see the changes for Miami to decide on these power unit regs. I like the aero regs though. Yeah, I think they've smashed it with the aero. It's just the fucking battery, bro. Every team grouped together apart from Red Bull. Max doing miracles in that car. Is just me, or does Jack Crawford sound like he doesn't speak English at first language? A little bit. I think it's probably the American living in Europe for a while, kind of like the hybrid kind of accent. To us, I think Ferrari will fall off rather than catch Merc, at least until they move on. This new engine now is surely they're not developing 2 engines at once. Yeah, true. I expected James Harden beard. Now, fuck that. How do you keep your beard like that? Philip One Blade. I think it's a Phillips. I think it's a Phillips I've got. But what I do is I have a close shaver. So basically what I do is I trim my beard maybe like once every 2 weeks. So I trim the line and then like trim the length. And then I have a close shaver, and every morning I close shave. so that way like it stays nice and fresh. What I used to do slash what most people do is like they trim their bed every 3 days, or they trim their bed every day, or they trim it and then they let it grow out for 2 weeks and then they trim it. Whereas for me, because I'm on camera basically every single day, I trim it maybe like every 1 to 2 weeks, and then I just close shave every single day, or use a close shaver, and it's so much easier. I don't, rather than fucking cutthroat or whatever, just zip round, get all the little hairs that grow out overnight. Boom. Your chat can be fast sometimes. Example, car crash or sudden splurge of comments. Oh, 100%. Like racing qualifyings, I can't read chat, every single message in chat. To be honest, like race days, I barely read any message in chat because first off, there's so much for me to talk about anyway, and it's just moving too fast to read. So I'll just like pick the odd message out. But streams like this are like testing streams. Like I can really read every message, and it's that's what I want to do at the end of the day for streams like this. Sup, Apollo, how's it going, dude? All right, guys, that is going to wrap up practice one. Thank you all for tuning on in. YouTube, if you are watching, we are going to stay live. We're going to stay live to watch. Sorry, we're going to stay live to look through Discord and talk about all the news from the week. So stick around. Yeah. Why have I just blanked out? Oh, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in for the watch along. Again, stream's not over. We're going to stay live to look through Discord. But if you did enjoy, be sure to follow or subscribe down below. If you're watching on YouTube, come join us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ponden. We're going to stay live all the way through to practice 2 today, which is in 2.5 hours time. And obviously we'll be live for qualifying and the race this weekend as well, and practice 3. But yeah, right, stream's not over. Let's have a scroll through Discord now. There's a lot to look at and talk about. Let's actually put some music on. Yeah, I feel that was a big gap session. Part of me is like, we didn't really talk much about what was going on in practice, but I feel like we are at that stage of the season where like I can't go 2 minutes without someone coming in chat and being like, what do you think of the regs? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And it's like, I'd rather just talk about it than, but to be honest, practice is not much to talk about. Like you just kind of talk and then go, oh, he went off track. But yeah. Maybe we leave the reg talk there for the weekend. Spend 40 minutes talking about it. All right. When we're back, it will be FP2 time. There we go. 2 hours, 14 minutes. Okay, YouTube. I'm sorry. I barely read chat today. I'll tell you why. Because for some reason, they've moved the pinned message on YouTube to the bottom of the screen. So I keep thinking there's no messages in YouTube chat. Can you put sector times? There was sector times. Wait, what do you mean? Excuse me. All right. When was our last stream? Did we cover? No, we didn't do that on Monday. And then we didn't look at, oh my God, we gotta go. Oh my God, we gotta go. Do we have to go all the way back to Friday the 20th? No way, bro. All right, we're going all the way back to Friday the 20th. There's a lot to look through. See, let her read the Kiwi. I don't know if you, I don't know if you know Smallent, who's a speedrunning streamer, but he actually created another channel because he wanted his viewers where they can chill with his chat and also doesn't have to be as energetic. It puts into perspective how nice it is to have a ton of expectations. Wait, do you mean like he's got like a Smurf account? Is that what you meant? This will take forever. Yeah, I fucking lost the scroll bar, bro. Maybe if Twitter gave me my scroll bar, I'd be okay. Oh, there we go. To be honest, a lot of stuff will be outdated, slash a lot of stuff we've already spoken about now, so. Where are we up to? 23rd. God damn. Yeah, this is why the preview streams are needed. There's so much to cover nowadays in the F1 world. I just hit the jackpot. I'm not gonna lie, every time a Don Toliver song comes on from the new album, it's kind of fucks. Oh my God, yeah, it'd be nice to have a jump to date option. Very true. Alright, we here? Yeah, okay, this is the Audi news. Okay. Where are we up to? Alright. Jonathan Wheatley, promising midfield Audi, stupid shitty Aston Martin and Lance Stroll. Will you drive more NLS now that F1 is cancelled? Max says, I'll try. Aston Martin updated their logo. Just throwing money at problems, bro. I just don't understand why my TikTok's getting suspended, because I usually if I'm watching videos, it's like, fair enough. But I'm literally not even doing anything wrong. It literally makes no sense. Lewis Hamilton has arrived for the opening of the new Ferrari-style store in Mayfair in London. It's not going to open the real orders. Look and fly.
Thank you very much. Can I get one with Rocco as well?
The current state of the Canadian GP. Do you think this will clear up before Canada? Surely, right? Surely. Fuin, KSFX, Purpur, thing as the follows. Are you staying live? Yeah, we're staying live all the way through to FP2. Got any movie or series recommendations? My favorite series of all time is Succession. If you haven't watched Succession, highly recommend it. Underrated pick. Sup, Super Max? You probably already talked about it, but thoughts on Hamilton's comments and Max's comments about the regulations? Yeah, we spoke about that already. At first, I was pretty annoyed at Lewis for what I thought was playing the PR game of just like glazing these new regs and then pulling some random analogy out of his ass about karting. But after reading the full quote, after getting called out on it, no, I think Lewis makes a lot of sense of what he's saying. Like he is saying like, this is the most fun he's had with racing. He's not necessarily saying that the cars are good or that the battery's good or anything like that. He just thinks the racing is good, and that's what's the most important part about Formula One. And I mean, to be honest, he's spinning facts. The quote I read, it was him saying like, "Oh, I love these regs. It reminds me of karting," and I was a bit like, "What the fuck?" But it reads very differently when you read it in full. Oscar liking this TikTok. I've been reading books of old, how to start an F1 race. Oscar Piastri liked your video. MILF. Man, I love Fred. Do we love Fred at the moment, though? Should Fred be glazed or not glazed for their current position in the champion in Formula One? Not James Harden beard hard, but would do numbers. I used to trim my beard because I didn't think it would look good. Recently let it grow and I was proven wrong. Interesting. Now, every time I have a long beard, I just don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with it. But it's also I would say it would need to look extremely good for me to put up with a messy feeling beard. To be fair, those quote thumbnails that get shared by news sites, just clickbait. No, yeah, true. Probably shouldn't have believed it. What is Alpine cooking? Dude, I said this the other day, right? No, I said it on the Red Bull stream. I forgot I was on the Red Bull stream and I was glazing the Alpine merch. Go into, what's the store called? Primark. Go into Primark. Alpine merch in there is only £15. And it's so good. It's logo-less. It's just Alpine logos. And it's so good. It's so good designs. Highly recommend. It's only £15 for a jersey, for shirts. Like, yeah, honestly, go check them out if you want some F1 merch for very cheap. Why is he posting a thirst trap of himself? Dad, what were you like in the 90s? Okay. Wheatley leaving Audi. This appears to be a key reason behind stepping down. Jonathan Wheatley's departure from Audi is reportedly due to strained relationship between Mattia Binotto. We saw that. Here's all the stuff from Max. We've seen a lot of this stuff. Wait, what is this? Johnny Herbert and Damon Hill playing Mario Kart.
Well, I'm hoping I'm going to get a bit of boost.
Where are you?
I've just gone off track.
Looks like I've been drinking.
Again.
So what happens if I throw something? How's that
I'm
work?
just throwing it randomly.
Okay. Wait, let's actually look at this Primark merch. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. I forgot I can actually show visual examples. So I'm getting cookie pop-ups up the arse right now. So this is the Alpine merch at Primark. Let me show you it all because it is so good. So for £45, you can get an old school Alpine jacket. Look how sick that is. For £45, if any other F1 team sold this officially or with another brand, that would probably cost like £120 minimum. £45, that's so solid. Then for £16, you can get an Alpine checkered shirt. A checkered shirt. Look how like this looks so good. Like genuinely, like I would wear this. It's so clean, just Alpine logo, Alpine text, pink design. I think they also do this in blue as well. Then you've got a hoodie for £24. Again, vibey, Alpine logos, pink down the side. And then the graphic t-shirt, again, super clean. It's like that retro feel. It looks so nice for only £24, £22. And then you've got a plain pink shirt. This is a bit dead. It's a bit ugly looking, but maybe you're fucking with the pink for only £14. And then this is sick for £10. Okay, this is for 7 to 15-year-olds, but still for £10. Very nice looking Alpine shirt. And then what's this one? The mesh shirt again for £16. You can get an what the fuck, bro? You get the mesh shirt. This looks so cool with the big Alpine logo on the back. And then this is another young. That's a bit dead. Again, young people shirt, but still. Again, kids shirt, but still. And then kids hoodie. But still, for only £15, honestly, it's banging. And I saw someone in chat to say about the quality. Quality felt really good. Like, don't be wrong, it is very like stick-on design. Like, it would probably scrape off easily or if you put it in the wash. But for £15, very, very, very solid, man. Very, very solid. Primark is amazing. I got both kits. It's so nice the team is finally doing some real affordable options. No, for sure. I mean, shout out for Primark as well. I mean, a big shout out to Alpine for like partnering with Primark. You know, because obviously McLaren, Williams, and Red Bull work with Hollister, and they're a good like kind of middle brand. But for how much that costs, I'd rather just get the official merch. You know what I mean? But I guess it is more like a clothing option at the end of the day. Shill, thank you so much for the sub, dude. Appreciate you coming to the Prime. Really do appreciate some for the first time, dude. That's so good. Wish it was from a good team. But I think that's the thing, though, is Alpine can do something like that because, you know, obviously these other big teams have so much like licensing deals they can't compromise on Primark. So I think that's a dub for Alpine because, again, like if I was a connector for Red Bull, for instance, I would 100% buy that merch and I'd wear it all the time because it's cheap, it looks good, and it doesn't look like merch. You know what I mean? Like it looks like merch, but doesn't look like merch. You know what I mean? Not tape, but I wanted the quality. I think it was really good from what I saw in store. TK Maxx also have F1 team merch, guys, mainly t-shirts and jackets. Isn't TK Maxx just selling the official stuff though? Whereas like Primark and Hollister is like their own designs. Primark is usually decent quality for print stuff. I've got a ton of t-shirts with big prints and had them for years. So there you go. There you go. At least you can drive flat out without looking after the battery. That was Max Lachina's first interview after try hopping out the car NLS. Now we've already looked at the V-carb livery during the NLS stream, but now to talk about the livery again, it is just so beautiful, man. Like I don't think I really appreciated this at the time because I was so caught up with NLS, but holy, what a livery. I love the metallic red on the matte white, the logos like Cash App being black, Ford being white, like all the logos blended so well. Like, okay, the Cash App green on the front's ugly, but it doesn't stand out as much. But yeah, big shout out to Simon, Alex, and the team. Obviously for the cherry can on the rear wing looks so good. And then the merch as well, so fire. I wish I got my hands on this, but I got an email saying package from Red Bull, and I was like, please be the V-carb jersey. Instead, here's my sim racing jersey, which is just as cool. Needed the new jersey. The aura for Max at NLS was insane. Alonso's special helmet for Wait, is that new? B Cup of the Resort slap. Yeah, they kill it. Wait, that's old, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna skip over all the Max NLS stuff because we looked at most of that stuff already. Red Bull ambassador application. We're not delusional. Everyone else is approved. Lake Ponden, nationality Australian. Wait, is that Australian or New Zealand flag? Wait, that's New Zealand, but with white stars. But argues like he's from everywhere. Okay, bro. Loyalty level 5,000%. Bias level 1,000%. Argument started 9,909. No, I don't start the arguments. Chat starts the fucking arguments. Red Bull cans consumed, unlimited. Times complained per day. How have I just got this fucking rep of being a complainer now, bruh? How have I got this rep of being a complainer after one bad week? Are you kidding me, bruh? Fans triggered, all of them. I'm not even that bad, guys. NC attacks anyone who criticizes their team. What? Never loses an online argument in his mind. What is this? I'm getting attacked right now. Always finds a reason why it's not the team's fault. Bro, I always blame the team. What the fuck? Red Bull fanatic eyes. Literally sees only Red Bull cars on track. Ambassador rules. Must defend the team in every situation. Must complain about at least 3 things per race. Must start at least 1 online argument daily. Must never admit the team made a mistake. What? Must drink Red Bull like it's Phil. Yep. Must obsess over the Red Bull car colors. Yep. Most delusional supporter 2026. Achievements. Fastest comment section responder. Loudest team defender. Ultimate Red Bull livery lover. What the fuck? Who made this? Verstappen 111. Oh, he's a Fabio fan. Checks out. 4-time career mode driver champion. 3-time career mode constructors champion. 1-time P10 finish in FedEx lobbies. Founder of Vodafone. First to disconnect part. I can't tell if this is a troll or not. I can't tell if this is a troll or not. That is a banging. That is a banging fucking bio if I've ever seen one. My local TK Maxx has a Battalion merch from Daniel's days. Yeah, I feel like doesn't TK Maxx just sell old? No way, my live's been restricted again. I'm done. Bye, TikTok. I'm not even doing anything. I'm literally not even doing anything. Wow, I'm gonna relaunch TikTok. What if I just stream muted? Will that fix it? Oh, is it my music? No, I was on a watch along before with no music. Can't be the music. Bro, this last update has killed me. I don't even know what to do anymore. Let me try this. Go live. Let's see how long we last now. I'm literally just scrolling Discord. Like what am I doing? Like, what? If I feel like even if I played a video game, I'd get fucking fucked. Oh, now I'm swearing. I'm just happy I can buy something without having to pay more than the shirt and shipping. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, TMX is an outlet. It's always like cheap. Ron Ponden is your first name. Polar bear skin and bones for this. Polar bear got its bone skin. As going round on the stream. The Japanese GP was at threat of cancellation following reports of earthquakes. However, it's since been established. Oh, shut up. I'm starting to think Red Bull Racing gave him GT3 the way Red Bull Racing gave him a GT3 the way a psychiatrist would prescribe antidepressants. The difference between Max and GT3 and F1 is wild. Those races make him so happy. Why you don't have to apply papaya when you don't have to apply papaya rules because even of the cars won't even start. Honestly, I actually think that I hit the jackpot meme is like, I mean, it's been rinsed now, but like that first week of this meme being out, holy fuck. Generally top tier meme. Suzuka's getting ready for next weekend's race. Do you mean this weekend's race? So China was McLaren's 1000th Grand Prix, but Miami was going to be their 1000th GP start, but then Bahrain and Jeddah were cancelled, so then Monaco was going to be their 1000th GP start, but neither McLaren started in China, so now Barcelona will be their 1000th GP start. Wait, true, McLaren had a whole event set up for Miami for the 1000th Grand Prix. They're going to have to move it to Barcelona now. They'll probably still do it in Miami and just call it something else, maybe. Murray, thank you for the follow. And then the news, I didn't go live for this, but Max getting disqualified from NLS because he used one too many tire sets. Now, again, I'm in the middle on this. I see people being like, this is cheating. Of course, Max cheats, blah, blah. It's not really cheating. He got DSQ'd for it. Like, didn't, like, they did something wrong. It gave them an advantage. They got DSQ'd. Like, I don't think they were intentionally cheating. It was just a mistake. But I also see people being like, you know, he still won, blah, blah, blah. But I think people are forgetting that, like, okay, at the end of the day, they were doing this for practice, and he got practice that he needed, right? I don't think they really care about the NLS championship. It still sucks to have the win taken off them, but I don't think it really, like, matters that much. And yes, I think the race still would have played out almost the exact same, regardless of if they used an extra tire set or not. But for anyone saying he got no advantage, people have to remember, like, that did allow him to have fresher tires, whether it was in qualifying or for the race, and that would have given him an advantage. Even if it's just a little bit, it would have given him an advantage. So it's not like he gave them no advantage. But yeah, it's such a shame he got DSQ'd. Kind of a very big downer on that weekend. Sorry, very big, what's the word? Sour ending to that race. Does Red Bull not have a special livery this year? No, VCARB do though, Roger. VCARB do. His editors can't count, not his fault. It's honestly not even his call. Like, he's not even in control of the strategy. Yeah, true. Does the DSQ still count towards participation? Well, apparently he didn't need to do anything in that race. It was just practice. See, I always saw when the whole like Toto and like Mercedes thing, like pushing NLS to move the date, I thought it was because he needed to do that race to be able to get approval to do the 24 hour. But apparently, no, he just wanted practice. So yeah. Dan Ricciardo started using number 3 in 2014. He had a DSQ and DNF within his first 3 races using the number. Max Verstappen started using the number 3 in 2026. He now has a DSQ and a DNF with the first 3 races. We call them 007. 0 moral rights, 0 competent teams, 7 drivers who have all been disqualified at least once. Okay. Trackside US's Suzuka playlist. Wait, what is this? I'm confused. Christian Horner reportedly held talks with Aston Martin team owner Lawrence Stroll earlier this week. However, it is understood that Adrian Newey is against Horner joining. Fair enough. Lewis Hamilton and Kim Kardashian in Tokyo. Is that Pink Panthers? Bruh, I just cannot imagine them as a couple, man. I just cannot imagine them as a couple. How late am I in online school right now? What's up, Bandit? Read the song titles as a sequence. Oh, please keep Oscar in the car in Japan. Don't let him watch the race again. A glimpse of Racing Bull's special livery. Oh, wait, no. I was going to say they showed it before the announcement. But I forgot they already announced it at this point. Thanks, Twitter. We know what the car looks like now. Teams with double points finishes in 2026 so far. Yo, shout out Alpine. Exactly 1 year ago, Oscar Piastri took his maiden Formula 1 pole position in China. The next day, he went on to win the race. GP never would have allowed a mistake like that with the tires. When your team kit is fire. Bro, wait. I haven't watched this in full. But the part I did watch kind of had me laughing.
Every single hour of that break we need in order to get ourselves back on the front foot by the time we come back to Miami. Clearly, we haven't started the season where we wanted to. So that period for us is about taking stock of what we actually really can change. Now, without attrition, we can count on the fact that production can be moved towards future performance. Some of that may come in Miami, some of that after that. It's no secret that we're overweight. Again, The developments will be in that period of time, making sure that we're able to reduce the mass in the car in a sensible fashion. We've gone through, by that point, 3 Grand Prix.
Yeah, but bro is basically saying that he's happy that the break's coming because it will help them. But also, didn't he say they weren't overweight? And now he's saying it's no secret that we're overweight. Bruh. Teams always lying, bruh. Why teams always fucking lying? Quit your lying, fam. Quit your lying. I'm done with TikTok. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally not doing anything. Gifting and live visibility restricted. This behavior is not in line with our policies. Reason, reproduce content. I mean, I just watched a James Vale's video, but this is the message that's been popping up all stream. Additionally, this live is restricted in the recommendation search results for this period. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? I'm done. I don't get what's happening. I really don't get what's happening right now. Test. I don't get what's happening, man. I don't get what's happening. I literally can't go live on TikTok. I'm literally getting restricted and I'm not doing anything. Like I'm literally just sitting here. Who gives a fuck about? I literally just explained that before, Patty. It's actually the key driver for going live on TikTok is a key driver for me growing on TikTok and bringing people over to Twitch. We don't want you to go bald. I'm gonna start balding soon. I'm not gonna lie. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. All right. Continuing on. It's terrible. You have to think about tires all the time. How many sets you use, when to use them. This is not racing anymore for me. It's just a joke. Big Schumacher turns 27 today. Qualifying head-to-head 26 to 18. Race head-to-head 20 to 9. All right. Are we forgetting that he was up against a bum? Breaking. Lance Stroll, team principal and CEO. Okay, bro. Mr. Consistent. Lewis is the only driver to finish every racing lap between 26 in the top 5 positions. Damn. Osprey's number should have been 12 because he has a dozen starts, dozen races, he doesn't start, doesn't race, doesn't do anything. Aston Martin is getting a no, wait, this is a troll, right? No, wait, this is real. Lego, wait, no, this is real. Lego is making a Technic F1 car in July for the AMR 26. There's no way. I mean, it would be cool that there's finally an Aston Martin, but of the dog shit 2026 car. Yeah, does it vibrate? Does it come with electric motor? Surely. It's cool to see Haase, the guy who's battling Max and NLS, said, "Hi guys, honestly, where do I even start? Where do I stop? I'm not exactly the most talented when it comes to putting things out like this into words. I want to thank all of you for the many messages, calls, comments, and of course the fans at the track, as well as all the support on and off the track. I've received such an overwhelming amount of positive feedback that I simply can't reply to everyone individually. That's why I want to use this message to reach as many of you as possible. That's really what matters to me." I've received such whatever. You get his point. Okay, so this is interesting. So this is oh, they've deleted it. So basically, MV33 Racing posted a tweet saying that Damon Hill said that George is temporary and that Max is ready to join Merc or some shit like that. even if he wins the championship, George will lose his seat. And then Damon Hill said that's absolute bullshit. But this is what Damon Hill said in the clip.
Max not being very happy where he is. Is he going to be taken by Mercedes, which means they're going to get rid of George? I think
so. George is always temporary.
That's awful. Yeah, but that's awful, isn't it? That's awful. I know you've had that experience yourself.
Strangely enough,
I can relate
to
it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm relating to this a little bit. But
no, I mean, in that clip, he didn't say anything about Max or even if George wins the championship, but he did say George is temporary. So I don't know where MV33 just pulled the fucking random ass quote out of his ass, but I mean, he did say George is temporary, so I don't know. I think it's bad from both. All right, wait, here it is. Damon Hill, Max Verstappen will replace George Russell at Mercedes even if he wins the World Drivers' Championship. I've heard little rumors that Verstappen isn't very happy right now at Red Bull. He'll sign with Mercedes, and the one who will leave will be Russell, even if he wins the World Championship. Job is always temporary. Did he say this or not? Like, why would MV33 write that if it's not fucking real? I don't get it. Have the same ride quality as their car. You spend way too much money on Lego. How much Lego sets have you got? What's up, Dak Frey? Mom the stream down. I don't know. Weird. What's our favorite white ball livery? I think this is the cleanest. I think this is the coolest. This is cool, but I really think these two are better than this. Maybe that's a hot take. I would go P1, P2, P3. It looks kind of dead here though. This is obviously gonna look cooler. Also, we need to see this. This needs an on-track photo for a proper comparison. I would say 1, 2, 3. Oscar, new website coming soon. Interesting. That Max Verstappen chooses a racing series he would and wouldn't like to compete in. WEC, yes. WRC, no. Supercars, yes. IndyCar, no. GT World Challenge, yes. NASCAR, no. Interesting. The last few times Alcaraz lost an official match, McLaren recorded a double DSQ and a double DNS. Wait. Oh no, I was wondering if I read this. Oh, this is where the Munge guy came in and just started waffling about random shit. Okay, we're gonna skip over all this. This man went on a tirade. Live footage of Oscar Piastri generating electricity in Japan to finally make his car work. Okay. F1 2026 grid. That is cute. That is cute. Alex Albon, he turned 30. I don't know why. Albon doesn't give me 30-year-old vibes. He gives me like 28-year-old vibes. What is this thumbnail, man? She could lead Ferrari 2026.
Most drivers spend 10 years trying to reach.
Is this a real account or is this AI? Wait, the thumbnails are definitely AI. Wait, he's changed the thumbnail now? She could handle Ferrari?
Every driver on the ladder to Formula One.
Wait, this is a different video. Wait, what? Has he made 2 videos about Albon Larsen? Wait, what?
Most drivers spend 10 years trying to reach.
Wait, 3 months? He made 2 videos about Albon Larsen? Oh, Albon Larsen again. What? She could change F1.
Imagine this. The daughter of two-time F1 champ Mika Hakkinen stepping into McLaren's driver academy at just 14. McLaren just confirmed their biggest female talent play yet, Ella Hakkinen. Is this the start of a real legacy comeback? You're watching Grid Pulse F1 News. Hit subscribe and let's break it down. Mika Hakkinen, the flying Finn who won back-to-back world titles in 1998 and 1999 for McLaren. His ice-cool driving and fierce duels defined an era. Now, more than 2 decades later, his daughter Ella is racing toward her own spotlight. The big signing. McLaren has added 14-year-old Ella Hakkinen to its driver development program. She'll begin testing single-seaters, aiming for 2027.
We need the scripters so bad.
She joins 2 other young drivers, Ella Stevens and Ella Lloyd, as McLaren expands into the all-female F1 Academy for 2026. McLaren is clearly betting on her and on diversity. Why it's a power move. The headlines are everywhere.
Damn, what a power move, guys.
Ella isn't just a legacy name, she's a karting winner.
Oh god, what has happened? Like, oh, he's only got 400 subs. Okay, I thought they had way more than this. 2 races of Mercedes already broke F1 2026. Who broke F1?
2 races into the 2026 Formula 1 season. 2 1-2s for Mercedes. 0 points for the defending Constructors' Champions. And 1 driver, who left the Silver Arrows for Ferrari, is the...
So this person must literally... AI thumbnail, AI script, AI voice. Do they AI edit as well?
The only man on the grid to finish inside the top 5 in every single lap raced in 2026. Pause. Let that sit. His name, Lewis Hamilton, watching his old team dominate from across the pit lane. Welcome back to Grid Pulse. And if you thought 2014 was a scary year for the rest of Formula 1, strap in. Let me hit you with what's happened in the first 2 races of the 2026 season. Australia, Albert Park, round 1.
Anyway, it's this Alba last one and kept popping up on my feed. It was so fucking dumb. Is he hoping they'll release his own flavor of smoothie or something? Why is he always rocking the supermarket cap? I don't get it. I don't get the Air One vibes. I don't get the Air One's market hat vibes. It's a cool hat. But like, imagine I'm just walking around with a fucking Sainsbury's hat on, bro. What if the cars lose more than 50 kilometers an hour from 130R to the chicane is gross? Yeah, I agree, Richie. I agree. Free cat prompts. Not a single selfie was taken this moment. If you know, you know. Japan race week. What a beautiful poster. Many happy returns on your 30th birthday, Alex. Again, I don't know how he's 30. It doesn't give me 30-year-old vibes. Lewis Hamilton spotted in Tokyo with Kim K. Is that a card shop? Just found out Lando gifted everyone at MTC mini Miami trophies after his first win, each in a pouch that said, "We'll remember this forever. Thank you." That is so sick. Love that. Love when, you know, celebrity. Love when big team, like, you know, stars do stuff for the members of the team that have helped them get, you know, to where they are today. Suzuka official track map. So we've got a straight mode down the main straight, and we've got a straight mode down the straight into 130R. What about truck one here? What about truck one here? One here. Suzuka State of Mind. Is that meant to be something? What's the purpose of F1 Academy? Promoting, it's meant to promote female drivers and help grassroots. Will Oscar Piastri finally start a race this weekend? Let's see. Typoed so bad and still came up. Keko Erez. Okay. The Williams FW48 is currently suffering from 3-wheeling. This means one wheel sometimes has reduced contact with the track surface. How does that even happen? Like, what? Okay, so somewhat big news. Team Redline has rebranded to Verstappen Sim Racing. So for people who don't know, Team Redline was Max Verstappen's esports team or sim racing team. Team Redline has existed for 25 years, and he decided to rebrand it to Verstappen Sim Racing. Now, I'm kind of in the middle about this. I understand from a brand standpoint, a company standpoint, to keep everything under one umbrella. Obviously, his racing team is called Verstappen Racing, so it makes sense for his sim racing team to be called Verstappen Sim Racing. And from a casual standpoint, people can look at that and be like, oh, that's Verstappen Sim Racing team. Whereas before, a lot of people would be like, what's Team Redline? I don't know what Team Redline is. So for like name recognition, for branding, from company standpoint, it makes a lot of sense to rebrand it Verstappen Sim Racing. However, I feel like Team Redline is such a cooler name, such a cooler logo. It had a cooler logo. And I think it's way better. It sounds way better to be like, I'm a part of Team Redline rather than I'm a part of Verstappen Sim Racing. Like, I don't know, I guess because Max's name is so, what's the word, notorious. Hearing Verstappen Sim Racing sounds weird. But he put out the quote, Sim Racing is a big passion of mine outside Formula 1, and Team Redline has been a big part of that. It is where I spend a lot of my time off track and part of what I am building with Verstappen Racing. The step to Verstappen Sim Racing feels very natural. We're taking everything we've achieved and bring it closer in line with the wider Verstappen platform, Verstappen Racing platform. I've always believed that Sim Racing can develop real talent, and we're already seeing that with Chris Lullum. I'm really excited to keep building on the success of the team and see what the future holds. So yeah, when I first saw this, I was a bit like, damn, it's a shame we've lost the Team Redline name and branding. And like don't get me wrong, the Verstappen logo looks cool, but it also, like, again, the Team Redline logo just looks so much better. But I was a bit concerned that the colors were going to change, but then they put out a photo of their liveries, and honestly, the liveries look better. They're keeping the red line red. They're keeping that navy purple, but the Red Bull logo is way bigger on the car now. It looks so nice. So the liveries have ticked the box for me. They look so much better than the red line ones. Well, not so much better, but the tweaks look very, very nice. And then he also, Atsi Kirchhoff, team boss, put out, building on the legacy of Team Redline, Verstappen Sim Racing represents the next step in an era where sim racing is a true breeding ground for real world talent. I'm excited about the future and look forward to continuing to grow and push this team forward. So yeah, rest in peace, Team Redline. But again, I do understand the reason why they have changed that. But like, again, if you look at the Team Redline logo, that logo was so cool. And like, I don't know, Team Redline just sounds better than Verstappen Sim Racing. But obviously Verstappen name has so much better name recognition, and it makes way more sense to bring it in line with the Verstappen Racing brand. But yeah, it's a shame Team Redline branding is kind of just dead now. Yeah, what do you guys think? Yeah, because it's equal cars, all about skill. Verstappen Sim Racing will get better sponsorship deals, you reckon? What's the purpose of... Oh, I read that. Oh, you guys talking about F1 Academy? I see. What else we got? Texter on Discord and Clyde responded. What that mean? Wait, what? Lance Stroll as opposed to... Okay. Red Bull will bring its first upgrade package to Japan. Did they? Maybe I'll find out soon, but why do I feel like I heard nothing about this if they did? Michael Schumacher is the last Ferrari driver to have won in Suzuka more than 20 years ago. Can Leclerc or Lewis stop that today? Interesting enough, Red Bull denied but to Auto Racer that they're 20 kgs overweight. Who's lying? Everyone's lying. What is this?
Hey guys, do you know where the V-Cup livery event is?
Okay. Slow speed to 130R this weekend. It certainly seems that way. Suga's not bad for recovery, but equally it has its challenges because of the long straights at Alpine's Dave Greenwood. I think we'll have some variation in speed through 130R across the teams, as you won't want to waste energy if you're scrubbing speed literally on the tires. I think we'll see cars harvesting before they reach the turn 16 chicane. I think we'll also be much quicker than in previous years, out of the hairpin and out of the exit spoon. The effect of less downforce will be keenly felt around spoon. And we've seen that. We have seen that. It's Lando in Tokyo.
Tell him you came here last year for your birthday.
We came to see you last year too.
From Arkansas.
He didn't give a fuck. He did not give a fuck. Formula 1 has today announced its renewal of a global licensing partnership with leading sim racing hardware company Fanatec. The extension will introduce a new generation of officially licensed F1 products for fans and racers worldwide, including advanced steering wheels and limited edition products engineered to mirror the performance, innovation, and precision that define modern Formula 1. Yeah, look, I love Fanatec. I think it's a perfect middle ground of like high-end equipment, but not too high-end that it's too expensive and too like technical. It's kind of like high quality without getting too expensive and too technical. So happy that they renewed. You think of playseat? Simrit? I don't think playseat costs 100k either. V-Cub admin constantly cooking. Carlando karting vid coming soon. New video dropping soon. Interesting. Imagine arguing with Max Verstappen's mother. Disqualified. Sophie clap. And still a goat. And no win. It was stupid for whoever made that. Right. Unfortunately, these things can happen. It's a team sport. even Max's mum is going on the fucking defense. That's funny. Suzuka Manga Memories Edition. What is this? My music's actually loud today. Is this real? Is this AI? I don't know what's AI and what's like. Oh, that was real? I don't know what's AI and what's actually like a good cartoon. That looked AI the way that happened, but this doesn't. That could just be like really good animation. I mean, it's from the official sponsor, so. That's the thing, we don't even know what's AI and what's not anymore. I don't want to say AI if it's not AI. The last time a McLaren driver failed to finish a race at Suzuka was more than 20 years ago when Montoya crashed on the first lap. Okay. Took him. Oh yeah, this was Danny Jungadella defending Max. Will Max Verstappen's lack of experience hurt him in the Nürburgring 24 hours? In this lineup, Verstappen is arguably the weaker link, says Peter Snowden. And Danny responded saying, took him 2 laps to be on the pace on Friday, pole by some margin, drove a full stint with inches of the leader, one of the best GTC drivers in the Nürburgring, and got past last lap, sent it left, right, center like a maniac in traffic. I think you should sit this one out. I mean, I don't think what Peter Snowden said is bad. Like, in this lineup, Verstappen is the weakest. Like, I mean, it's nice that Danny defended him, but, you know, Max probably had the worst of the 3 stints between the 3 drivers, but to see Max do as good as he did in Nürburgring and then make a comment like that is kind of unnecessary, because it's like, well, he didn't do bad, you know what I mean? Maybe he was the worst of the 3, but saying like he's the clear weakest link and shit like that, it's like, bro, like Danny said, literally took him 2 laps to be on the pace on Friday. That is insane. Mercedes' offer for Ottro's ownership stake in Alpine is making waves in the paddock. Outwardly, it doesn't have a big issue. Outwardly, it doesn't seem a big issue, but such a deal would create issues within the F1 Commission and possibly the EU. It was suggested to me that the FIA may block such a move via concede. More than that, what does Alpine get out of Mercedes' deal? It would effectively become a B team, which undermines all of its marketing efforts and Renault's very reason for being in F1. It's a deal that doesn't make sense on many fronts. For those and other reasons, I don't understand it, and especially serious bid. Even if there is a serious player involved, Alpine has other interested parties who can add value, notably one that includes Christian Horner. Alpine and Renault don't need Mercedes investment. What would Mercedes do? I mean, I don't know. I'm not opposed to a B team, for especially Mercedes being Mercedes, but like, what are Mercedes going to do with that team realistically? Can't remember which one I was thinking of. Maybe the Red Bull, the Aston Martin Simbrick. Oh, you're thinking about the F1 Authentics. That's not Fantasy SGR. Those are the like actual cockpits made into Simrigs on the F1 Authentics website. Formula 2 working to organize race weekends for the Miami and Canadian Grand Prix. That would be good. That would be good. What else we got? Okay, we haven't spoken about this on stream yet. I did obviously make a video about it, a short form video about it, but Haas revealed their Godzilla livery. What does everyone think of this? Alright, so I mute the music just to avoid copyright while I'm live on YouTube. But yeah, what does everyone think of this livery? Again, like I said in my video, I feel like this livery is clean. I really like it. I like what they've done with it. I think it's a nice looking livery. Now that I've seen it on track, I'm a bit like, it's a bit messy. Like it just looks like a big jumble on the back of the car. But in the video I said, I feel like they could have done more with it because, you know, they did a big event, they did a big reveal event, they did merch. You've literally got the Godzilla licensing and all you've done is chucked a Godzilla logo on the front wing there and then a Godzilla hair. Like, I don't know, I feel like it would have been a predominantly different color, so like predominantly black and red with hints of white, or maybe just like a different design, but it is literally just the base Haas livery with a Godzilla logo on the side. And yeah, people are grilling me in the comments being like, what, why is this guy complaining? What more could they done? Well, they could have done a fuck ton more. Look at the fucking V-Cub livery. Look at any other special livery that is not just a little adaptation. Again, clean, but I think they could have done a lot more, especially with the hype that they kind of built this up to be. Especially the way the Godzilla wraps around the fucking engine cover. It looks kind of weird. Yeah, still cool. Also, someone explain to me, what does Godzilla benefit from being on the side of a Haas? Like does Godzilla still exist? Like, are they still making a TV show? It's good, but could be better. It's just slightly updated Haas livery. Could have been better with more color. Anytime I hear Godzilla, I just think of that cursed image in TikTok comments. Wait, what's that? What's that cursed image? I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I don't at the same time. Atomic Breath could have been blue. Yeah, true. Every now and then they make movies. They're currently filming Jumanji. Right, okay. Right, what else we got? This shit is fucking taking me out, bro. That's cursed. Nah, okay, that one's terrible. That's so good, bro. That Albert Signs one is so bad. Yeah, he's literally got that haircut now, basically. Looks like Signs' new haircut. It's funny. Then the driver cards we were looking at earlier. I like them. The livery looks cool there. But again, it's really messy. Messy, kind of messy. Translation. The monumental stadium is beginning to show its final form. The bank curve has been paved with more than 1,800 cubic meters of asphalt mix. This is equivalent to covering the entire Santiago Bernabeu pitch with a layer 25 centimeters deep. That's in Madrid. Yeah, Godzilla O is coming out this year. Then Legendary Godzilla X Kong Supernova is releasing next year. Holy fuck, they're still going. A weekend at Suzuka of Haas, face to face with Godzilla. Then, mate. Shout out the Red Bull V-Cub, Red Bull Threads admin. Ollie to Ocon in Japan. Bro, the old Godzilla movies are so bad now. What the fuck? Formula E is currently forming its 2026-2027 calendar. It will definitely include Jarama, and it might have Zandvoort, Imola, and Brands Hatch on it too. Interesting. I'm bored. It has a list of F1 drivers whose contract expired at the end of this year. See the image. So Russell, Kimi, Hadjar. Oh, damn. 1, 2, 3. 17. Wow, 17 out of 22 drivers contract end this year. There's going to be a big silly season. When's it going to start though? Someone's going to kick it off surely. Someone's going to kick it off soon. There's a clear possibility of a Newey Horner alliance at Aston Martin with Wheatley as team principal. Lawrence is eager to bring him on board as executive director. Wait. Horner as executive director? And what, Jonathan Wheatley as team principal? Interesting. I feel like that's not true, right? No way Horner goes to fucking Aston with Adrian. Mario Solis says Pirelli could consider softer selections for 2026. Would it improve the strategy? Really? Really, Mario? You think softer compounds would help? And then Mercedes unveiled their special livery. I didn't make a video about this on socials because it's not really a special livery. If you just chuck one little design on your car, it's not a special livery. But then again, this livery got this little change got so much fucking support online. I probably should have made a video about it, but Yeah. It looks cool, but it's a bit goofy, just like wolf eyes on the front of a car. But it does look cool as like a special kind of little design. Just bring back 5 color types. My favorite media platform is the admins interacting on threads. Unleashing the Beast. What else we got? Okay. Lewis Hamilton out in Tokyo in a Ferrari in his annual drift adventures. Or are we going to get a special drift video this year? We got one last year, right? He's in it. What is this? An F40? Yeah, run that guy over. Standing in the way. Such a nice car, man. Holy crap. Holy crap. Favorite Japanese GP moment. James Hunt wins title. Senna Prost collide. Senna Prost collide again. Damon Hill wins race and title. Strumi's first Ferrari title. Alonso epic pass at 130R. That's definitely up there. Kobayashi podium. Max clinches title. Seb. What about Raikkonen's win? Oh. Yeah, what about Raikkonen's win? Japan edit.
The Japanese Grand Prix is underway.
Vibe, I like it. Asked the head of the Japanese Grand Prix whether he could appreciate the breath of fresh air for fans that an unexpected result represented. Verstappen said creating a spectacle wasn't his concern. Honestly, I have zero interest in that. He said, I don't think about what's good for Formula 1. I don't think it was necessarily bad that was happening to Formula 1 because we were just better than everyone else. If people can't appreciate that, then you are not a real fan. That's how it goes. That's why I was super relaxed about it, because we didn't perform and other people did a better job than us, and of course they deserve to win. They shouldn't win because people say it's boring that we are winning. Wow, I'm confused. Mercedes won by 18. Mercedes 18 by 1. Lawrence Stroll was probably close to signing former Red Bull Racing CEO Horner for Aston Martin last year, but knew he had not forgotten why he left Red Bull. According to internal sources, the Honda engine is being reviewed at a level nearly equivalent to rebuilding it from scratch. Months of development have been reset, which has serious implications. At Honda, they're panicking about what might happen at the home GP. They hope to improve, but they're very afraid of the image that could remain if what introduced doesn't work. Yeah, apparently Aston Martin were meant to have a special livery this weekend, but then they didn't because the engine was so bad. Where is an initial D/F1 race hype? Wait, what do you mean? Train noob. Alright guys, I'm gonna quickly go toilet and grab a drink. So we are going to leave the actually no, we'll stay live for a little bit longer. No, we'll not stay live, we'll stay scrolling just for a little bit longer. I just saw the amount of people we had on the YouTube stream and stuff, so I was like, fuck it, we'll stay live. What do we got? This is going to be the gap between Mercedes and Red Bull this weekend. Cadillac special Japanese livery. That is cool looking though. F1 drivers fan service will always amaze me. Like, what you mean you put stuff you're in the car, then go back to sign it? Wait, what? What's wrong with that? Well, I'm confused. Oh, they're just saying like the service that the drivers do for the fans. Yeah, honestly, I think you got to give a lot of respect to most of the F1 drivers. Like, they are hassled with media, you know, compared to footballers where you've got 11 players on the team or whatever. Like, these guys are hassled so much, and you know, they probably put in more work than most celebrities and most sport athletes from a fan perspective. Aston should fuel the car for 15 laps in the race, do glory runs, get up to P1, and just say they had to retire because of the mechanical issue. You really think they can get up to P1? You really think they can get up to P1? Max at Fuji Speedway driving the Nissan Z Nismo GT500 in a Red Bull livery. You gotta love Max, always driving different cars. Here's the car out on track. Jeez, that sounds good. It looks good. Anything with a Red Bull livery looks good, man. You think Max enjoyed driving it in the wet or nah? We've been keeping you in the dark on this one. And then VCub revealed their suits shortly after. They always told us that the first one to arrive was the one that got born. But it turns out it doesn't matter who gets there first. The egg chooses the best sperm. So if the best sperm was Lance Stroll, just imagine the crap the dad shoots out. Okay, bro, that's fucking mean. Pierre Gasly revealed his helmet for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's kind of like a ceramic kind of looking thing. Not a huge fan of it. It looks very weird with the sponsors randomly placed. McLaren expect a more challenging time in Japan in terms of energy management compared to Shanghai. Well, they look good in FP1. Mark Temple, technical director performance, said, like Melbourne, it is a more energy-starved track. Really? We therefore anticipate more artifacts of energy recovery in a number of corners. Interesting. Feeling suit might delete later. What do we think of the V-carb suits? Oh, honestly, they look so good, man. So fucking clean. The V-carb team are on point. Fornaroli and Piastri's helmet look too similar from the front. Wait, what the fuck? Yeah, it looks like they're rocking the same helmet. Looks like F2 is going to race in Miami. Wait, baby, plane, Canada, US. Interesting. Sergio Rodriguez always gets the reports correct. How to finish a race in 2026. That actually looks so real. And yeah, big shout out to Alonso for becoming a dad. So, bro, is so private. Chinese manufacturer BYD is reportedly considering whether a takeover of Alpine is viable. They are also exploring other options. Interesting. Toto, as a team, we continue to lead the way in blending our sport and wider culture, and that is reflected in our work with Y3's legendary Japanese designer Yoji Yamamoto. It is fitting that this collection will be seen on the team trackside, plus his designs on the driver's overalls and helmets on the W17 itself. I mean, that's bold to say we continued to lead the way when I feel like so many other teams have been doing like partnerships and stuff for a while, but still, it is a very cool partnership. What else we got? Rainy day in Suzuka. Do you guys think it's gonna rain this weekend? What's the weather looking like? Twin Sea, name of the follow. First IC in F1 is insane. I think BYD and Alpine would be a good combo. I don't know how Mercedes would be about it, but being in the end of provider. True. I think the Ford unit seems pretty weak, but the thing is, Hedger and Verstappen were both quick in the last sector with the long straight. More photos of Gasly's poo helmet. According to the We Are Race, according to We Are the Race, so the race, a meeting of technical experts in the FIA that is due to take place after the Japanese GP. The hope is the modifications can be made to the rules that will remove any element of battery management influencing qualifying. That would be amazing. So it can return to being flat out attack as it was in the past. A reduction in battery deployment to 200 kilometers would allow power to be delivered over more of a lap. The races would remain unchanged. Interesting. Special livery requires special race suits. That's cool. Okay, I like that. That definitely is like a Japanese Godzilla feel to the race suits. Still pretty similar to what they already had, but a nice touch. I like it. And then Mercedes' race suits. What is this? This is so ugly. It looks like they've just rolled around in some fucking gravel. It looks like they've got flour. They're cooking a cake and they've got flour over their fucking apron. Holy. 75 years of Porsche. What do we think of this ad? I think it's a pretty cool ad, personally. I'm a big Porsche fan.
For over 75 years, we've done everything wrong. When they said engines go in the front, we put them in the back. When they said ignitions on the right, we put them on the left, saving tenths of a second. When they said a real sports car can't have 4 doors, we built 4-door models, faster than most 2 doors out there. When they thought you can't build fully electric sports cars, we built the Taycan. And we continue redefining the future of sports cars.
God, I love the Porsche look so much, man.
Luxury is for the few, they said. Until we built the biggest car community out there, bringing together incredible people and cars in astonishing places. And when they said, times are tough, time to tighten your belts, we always pushed the pedal instead. Never stopping. Because we're too busy building the cars they say can't be built. So, if being us means being wrong, it is just the right thing to do.
Yeah, really nice to add that. I mean, I'm a big Porsche fan, so Porsche fan. But yeah, I don't know. Porsche just give me such like F1 vibes. Like, I'm so surprised they've not been in Formula One. Had they been in Formula One before? I don't think they have, right? But yeah, I love some of the comments on this. They said Porsche was affordable sports cars. We made it unaffordable. When they said listening to what long-term fans is important, we completely ignored them. When they said physical gauge clusters are better than screens, we said nah. And then when our customers asked for an exchange of the totally shrunken dashboard of his 4-year-old Cayenne, we just try to charge him $7K. We're too busy building the cars people don't want. When they said classic cars should hold value, we made the Taycan. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. But yeah, I like the ad personally, and the main reason I linked that and wanted to watch that was because I feel like Porsche and F1 would be so good, man. Would be so good. Someone said it looked like the printer ran out of ink when they were making the suit. Yeah, honestly, it's so imagine a Porsche F1 team. Yeah. I think they wanted it to look like a wolf scratches, but instead it looked like Kimmy and George turned into furries. Yeah. Weird design on the suits for sure. To be honest, I wouldn't notice that's Gasly. I'm not gonna lie. Sightseeing in Tokyo, PS Street. I found this kid adorable, so decided to share it on here. His dad will make him go to an F1 race if his reel gets 10K likes, and then if an F1 driver comments.
Guys, please help me. Papa.
Yes?
How many likes to take me to a first F1 race?
How many likes to take you to your first F1 race?
Yeah.
How about 10,000 likes and one of the F1 drivers to comment?
Charles Lewis, Esteban Ocon,
Yeah, he knew Ocon would comment.
Ole Behrman, Carlos Sainz, Nico Hulkenberg, Bortoleto. Please help me. Hey guys.
Anyways, this kid ended up getting 3.5 million likes. Don't tell me he has more followers than me. I'm gonna fucking crack. I give up. I've been out followed by a 6-year-old, bro. By engagement farming. Should I engagement farm, guys? How many likes from I don't even know what I was gonna say. VCarb, how many likes to get your jersey? 35 million views. Anyways, he got comments from Bortoletto, bring him to the race. Esben Ocon, see you soon, buddy. Ollie Behrman, emote I can't see. Christine, who does commentary for DAZN, Vamos. Anyone else? Yeah. Hot Wheels, have an awesome time at the race. Duracell, AAA plus dedication and drive. Toomey Travel, let's go champ. F1 Vegas, hey buddy, want to come to Vegas in November? Sao Paulo, come experience Sao Paulo. Duolingo. What the fuck? I'm jealous, guys. I'm jealous. How did the bro do it?
Hey, mi amor. How was school?
Good.
So I got a surprise for you.
What?
Your video
What?
got 1 million likes. Over 1 million likes. And it got 15 million views. You know what 15 million is?
No.
That's a lot. But also, F1 Las Vegas,
Yeah.
he's gonna give you 2 tickets and paddock access to go to the Grand Prix in Las Vegas. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Do you guys reckon the dad told him to film that video, or do you think the kid did it on his own accord?
Are you excited?
Yeah.
All right, cool. You want to say thank you?
Thank you.
Oh, so funny. Hello, why am I just finding out about this bromance between Papa Winton and Papa Perez? Wait, what? Is there a photo? Wow, who invited Tom Cruise? The fuck? How many likes to get Ponden commentating F1 naked? Okay, bro, calm down, calm down. Kinder's parents are marketing geniuses. Hate when your adults use their children for content. That's what I mean. I wonder if the dad told him to do that, or if the kid just did it on his own accord. Yeah. It's always funny because obviously so many people around the world post stuff like that, and then it's like, what made the drivers or people pick that kid and that dad? Either way, love to see that kid getting his first F1 race. This edit, what is this?
Take both of you out so I can go.
I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that, Soz. Ooh, we need to watch this video from VCarb at some point. We've got time. 10-minute vid of them. And that's a good video. Big news of the paddock. Fernando Alonso and Melissa Jimenez have officially welcomed their baby, wishing them all the happiness in this new chapter. Love that. Breaking, the FIA has received a request to clarify the legality of Mercedes' front wing. Wow, that's funny after all the kind of rumors that came out. Apparently, Fry's post was made with AI just because 2 letters overlapped. What a shame. What a shame. This is what the world's come to. Adelaide apparently put in a bid for Formula 1, but F1 rejected. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, what's the point in going to a track that's not been on the F1 calendar before? Too much work for F1 to do. And then the news broke, guys. Breaking news. Carlos Sainz cut his hair. Can you believe it? Howard Williams not winning yet. They had the foresight to have an extra Duracell on top of their car. James Vowles is a genius. Australian F1 media really wake up every day and choose violence. What the fuck, bro? When Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone premiered, a Ferrari driver won the next 3 titles. In Christmas 2026, season 1 of Harry Potter series, the Philosopher's Stone will premiere. Shut up. Sebastian Vettel is the only driver in history to have achieved a Grand Slam at Suzuka. George Russell has finished 36 consecutive races, which is the 4th best streak. How many is he on? 36. Okay, so he needs 7 more to beat Max. It's going to be hard with these regs, but he's in the Mercedes, so we'll see, we'll see. This is a dumb post. This is a dumb post. Look, I follow Taylor on Insta. But I don't think this is the best post. One sec. Let me get this link working, for fuck's sake. What? Wait, why isn't it working? What is happening, bro? There we go. Yeah, I follow this creator on socials, but I just don't think this is the smartest thing to post, in my opinion. So she commented, to be fair, this is also how I avoid colleagues that I hate in the office. And then the caption on screen, I didn't know that Liam and Yuki beef was this crazy. Oh my god. So Yuki's leaving. It seems that Yuki's leaving, and he is saying goodbye to everyone but Liam and Arvid. Now, you could interpret this 2 ways, right? He's saying goodbye to everyone. He didn't say goodbye to Arvid, but Arvid still gave him a thumbs up, and then Liam and Yuki kind of awkwardly encountered. Or maybe, just maybe, these guys were going to another event with Yuki as the F1 drivers. They were going to another event with the other F1 driver, and there's no reason for him to say goodbye. He's going to say goodbye to Mad Mike. He's going to say goodbye to the other Japanese drivers. He said goodbye to Wes, or maybe Wes is not going to the next event. Did we think that maybe he didn't need to say goodbye to them because they were going together somewhere? Yeah, see you in a bit. What are the comments? He sees Liam and Arvid on a weekly basis. He didn't need to say goodbye. Other people he will probably not see again for a while. Exactly. They're friends from little kids. Nothing happened here. Liam wasn't looking, and he also gave Arvid only a fist bump. Liam also said, see ya, mate. They see each other a lot. Exactly. They're probably going to see each other in fucking 20 minutes at another event. Fabricated awkwardness, bro. Fabricated awkwardness. Chocolate F1 race car. What is this? Full mate beef, other nothing. It's crazy. Yeah. Wait, is this the Kit Kat? No, this isn't the Kit Kat, right? Okay, this is just the bro making it. A chocolate F1 car. Let's see how accurate it looks. Well, it looks pretty good so far. Looks very good so far, actually. Oh, what team's he gonna... Oh, red? Ferrari? Or is it just gonna be a generic F1 one? Audi? Tires? Damn, he had to make 4 of them. Damn. Does he eat this afterwards? He better eat this afterwards. Medium tire, medium tire. Yo, that's actually pretty good. Wonder what it tastes like. That's kind of banging. That's kind of banging, can't lie. That is kind of banging. Rich Boy, Natsu, thank you for the follows. Nice, nice. How the fuck do people do that, yeah, honestly? Sounds like Arvid said, wait, I read that. People make beef out of nothing. It's so out of context, yeah, honestly. RB and V Cup always putting out the best deliveries for Japan, yeah. They smash every time. Okay, so then the FIA put out the statement. Following discussions between the FIA F1 teams and the power unit manufacturers, a minor adjustment to the energy management parameters for qualifying at the Japanese GP has been agreed with the unanimous support of all power unit manufacturers. To ensure that the intended balance between energy deployment and driver performance is maintained, the maximum permitted energy recharge for qualifying this weekend has been reduced from 9 millijoules, as I pronounce it, millijoules, to 8. The adjustment reflects feedback from the drivers and teams who have been emphasized the importance of maintaining qualifying as a performance challenge. Yes, thank you. The FIA notes that the first events under the 2026 regulations have been operationally successful, and this targeted refinement is part of the normal process of optimization as the new regulatory framework is further validated in real-world conditions. The FIA, together with the F1 teams and power unit manufacturers, continues to embrace evolutions to energy management with further discussions scheduled in the coming weeks. Megajoules. Okay, so my question is, one, how much does 9 to 8 reduction change anything? How much does the 9 to 8 adjustment change? 2, how does reducing how much they can harvest affect the qualifying balance? Like, wouldn't that just mean then that they are going to want to lift more because they're harvesting less? I'm confused. A lot? Maybe it is actually better than Alonso's car. You see this guy whenever you're doom scrolling TikTok? 9 Michael Jordans. Yeah, I think you're right. Makes them slower. That's what I mean. Doesn't it make the cars slow? I'm confused. This is why we dislike British commentary. Too much tabloid speculation, not enough facts. I take it they may further reduce the recharge if there's the chance that it would be too drastic at once. So testing the waters, right. Get slower but less clipping. Right, so the cars are going to be slower, but we don't get a drop-off. Doesn't it seem counterintuitive? Or am I just being picky now? The minis are back. Dude, the Japanese fans are crazy. In a good way. Before we talk more about this weekend, can we throw it back to China? No. Oh, this is beautiful. What is this? That makes them lift less. Right, but won't the cars be slower, though?
Kid, when they told you you've been born to bleed, little soldier with your golden heart, and a boulder would pulled you down.
He just looks the same but younger, man. Like, some people completely change, and then like there's people like Russell who like they literally look like themselves but younger. We were able to, as a team, fight again for the title. Lando says we were over 150 points behind in 2024, and we still managed to come back and win the World Constructors Championship. Now what we are thinking of is getting on the podium and then returning to winning races. Mercedes front wing is legal, says the FIA, and then boom, big news this weekend. We need to talk about it. Max said, I'm not speaking before he is leaving. Max Verstappen at the start of his media session. Verstappen refused to start his media session until the Guardian's representative left. It is a result of the clash months ago in Abu Dhabi finale, where Verstappen took issue with the question about regretting his crash with George Russell and subsequent penalty at the Spanish GP in the context of missing out the World Championship by just 2 points. Yeah. So look, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of my least favorite things Max has done since the Spanish Grand Prix. I think kicking someone out of a interview session for doing their job, I think, isn't a great look, especially when what he did in Abu Dhabi wasn't even that bad, in my opinion, and he didn't do anything wrong. Who's to say that that guy didn't hear Max's criticism and want to improve himself, and he didn't even get the chance? The second he steps in the room, Max is like, nah, get out. For people who don't know, the quote was basically in Abu Dhabi, not George Russell, sorry. The interviewer, the Guardian's representative asked, you know, do you think that the clash between you and Russell in Spain cost you the championship, blah, 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 or do you reflect on that? And like, you know, at the end of the day, Max did have a bad moment with Russell that cost him points, that then cost him a championship. And, you know, Max at the time said, like, this is a dumb question. Like, you know, now you're smiling with a grin on your face. I think probably Max was annoyed with the way it was asked, you know, the timing of it being after the race, smiling when you asked him the question, kind of like happy that Max lost the championship because of that. So I can understand why Max is frustrated. You know, you've just lost a championship and you're getting asked a dumb question like that. But at the same time, like, you know, Max did do that mistake, and that is a question that's going to be asked. When you do a mistake, you have to be accountable for that. And I guess the media's job is to kind of hold you accountable. I don't really feel like what the Guardian's journalist did was that wrong. I see a lot of people saying, oh, but like if a journalist said to Lewis, like, you know, that crash in Imola in 2021, that cost you in the championship, you know, like all the Lewis fans would be freaking out. And, I mean, I agree with that. I do think people would be freaking out if a journalist asked Lando or asked Lewis or asked anyone else this question. But at the same time, like Lewis and Lando's one was a mistake on their own part. So, you know, maybe you could argue like it's a bit different to a driver taking, you know, kind of crashing into someone on purpose and like costing him points. But yeah, either way, my opinion on this is I think it's not a great look for Max. Like, I get why Max is frustrated at that question. I get why Max would maybe not want that guy in an interview room, but I don't think it was that big of a deal. Like, I don't really think it was that bad of a question to begin with for Max to get angry at. I can understand again why he got angry in the moment, because it's right after a race and he's, you know, probably annoyed that he lost the championship. And probably the way that journalists asked that question. But to months and months and months later kick someone out of the room for it, I don't think that's necessary personally, and I just don't think that's a great look. And yeah, it's a shame because, like, you know, I think Max is kind of being portrayed as like a bit of a crybaby this year, you know, crying about the regs, crying about the car, crying about this, crying about that, and majority of what he's complaining about is his opinion slash facts. But I think something like this is not a good look, because it's basically saying like, well, no one can criticize me, no one can comment on me, otherwise I'm gonna not do an interview. And I don't think that's a great look to have, because I think like that is something that comes with being an athlete. But don't be wrong, I do think journalism is absolutely terrible at the moment in the world in general, specifically, you know, speaking the Formula One world, like with fake quotes and shit questions and, you know, trying to get a clickbaity article. But I think a journalist asking about a situation that lost you the championship, I don't think that's a bad question to ask. And I think Max, other than obviously them having a little bit of beef in that moment, I think Max answered that question very, very well. And I think he almost like turned it on the journalist a little bit by being like, well, you don't ask me about this, you don't ask me about that. So I feel like Max already kind of got his payback already. So to do this so many months later in Japan is a whole new season is kind of, I don't know, it's very interesting to me. And obviously as a Max fan, it kind of sucks because it's like, well, why do this? Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know. It's not a good look. It's not a good look in my opinion. What are you guys saying about this? Max having a tantrum like a petulant child. It wasn't even that bad of a question. I don't get why he was so pissed to kick him out of the question he asked was 4 months ago, and it was a personal. It wasn't personal, a disrespectful question. British bias and nothing else. What's a grumpy old gamer on the stream, dude? To be honest, I understand why Max did it, but it was also slightly pointless to kick him out. It was a valid question 4 months ago, and he didn't do anything wrong this week. He didn't ask the question. Max kicked him out for no reason. Yeah, put it this way. If the guy asked another stupid question, slash a question, not a stupid question, because I still don't think the question was stupid at the time, but if the guy asked a question to kind of like try piss Max off, if you could say that, then I can understand him then wanting to kick him out. But kick him out before he's even had a chance to redeem himself after, you know, Max already kind of publicly called him out for that question, I don't think it's great. But then again, you know me, I like to play devil's advocate. I'm not just saying this because I got a Red Bull shirt on. I hate when people say this, but like I play both sides. But to play devil's advocate here, this is the same journalist that has also pissed off Lewis and pissed off, was it Michael Schumacher? Oh, my chat's just completely disappeared. Hello? Hello? I've just completely lost Twitch chat on my... What the fuck? My Twitch chat's just completely disappeared. What the fuck? What the fuck? I just lost Twitch chat on my monitor. Okay, I'm gonna have to get external Twitch chat up today. But so random. Okay, we go down. That's so weird. What the fuck? I can't remember what I was saying. What was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. I lost my train of thought because of that. Fuck, my chat looks so weird now. It was about if Lando did this, though, he would get clowned by everyone, so I don't know. Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, to play devil's advocate. Not saying I agree with this, but this is the same journalist that's pissed off Lewis and another driver, so it's like, you know, it seems like he's got a track record of pissing people off. So, for fuck's sake, coming in now, I thought quote about MB and was so excited. People had moved on from Spain and Max's Streisand affected back into the news. Keep yapping dumb shit defending the journalists. All right, bro. You definitely are a grumpy old man. Can't have a proper convo. Taurus Zhao, what is up, dude? If he does have an issue with the guy in general, it's something his PR team should be aware of and could have easily avoided, considering it was a Red Bull press event. It was a Red Bull press event. What the fuck? Max doing this has fully brought it back into the media and everyone remembers Spain again. Yeah, maybe it's just pettiness. In our media, they say that this journalist was bringing up Spain every time, always in a bad way. If the journalist took something out of context, which is something, then sure, but all he did was sit down. Reminds me of Kyle Busch or Tony Stewart, but a bit more childish. To be honest, I like it. Savage, absolutely on the limit, but that's Max. Shumi didn't speak to Brundle for 5 years because of a bad question. A McLaren in the mix now. It seems like a little bit, well, at least in that session. But you get that shirt. This is the Red Bull Sim Racing jersey, my team's jersey. It's the F1 Sim Racing Championship is back this weekend, so I thought I'd wear it for today's stream. How's it going, Carlos Amber on the stream? Or he's just a shitty journalist who creates drama. Every session the grid gets closer. After Australia, Merck was 8/10 clear. After China, they were 3/10 clear. Now FP1, they're only 1. It's only FP1 though. It's only FP1. If he's a shitty journalist you don't want there, then get a PR team to make sure he doesn't attend. It was a Red Bull event. Yeah, true. If you should have just given him shit answers instead of kicking him out. Well, maybe that was Max's thoughts. Maybe Max was like, well, it's a Red Bull event, so I can do what I want. Not saying that's the right thing to do, but yeah. You lost by 2 points. Does that change your perspective on the incident given the closeness? Something like that. As a big Max fan and someone who likes his blunt, no bullshit approach, I think this was silly of him. It was a bit immature. Yeah, I think it just causes more problems than good, you know what I mean? Like, I definitely think there's times to stand up to bullies. I'm not saying this journalist is a bully, but stand up to dumb journalism and dumb questions. But I don't think this was the right thing to do because I think it just caused more problem than good. That toxic journalist was having a stupid grin on his face while listening to Max. I think Max is also dealing, which is pollen allergy, usually around this time in Japan. Pollen allergy is very bad. Wait, what? Many drivers are pissed with the media. It's just not a lot vocal enough. So many journalists are stupid and plain disrespectful questions. I don't know why drivers don't speak up more. Carlos M, SRT Rich Boy, Jeffy Hardy, thank you guys for the follows. Yeah, anyways, that is my thoughts on the Max quote. I get where he's coming from, but I just don't think it was the smartest thing to do. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Last year didn't even break into spoon entry. Ollie and Liam saying they did. You did. You'll learn one day, guys. Degner won, not even full lift. Looks over to them. You probably did a full lift and downshift. This is what happens when you cut your hair so bad. Okay. Bro, even the boots. The wolf boots. What the fuck is happening, bro? Land on the yo-yoing. It looks great on TV and the viewers seem to love it. It's a different type of racing. I enjoyed sitting on the side last weekend and watching the battles of the Ferrari, etc. It was cool to see. Honestly, not in the position where I think it's good as it can be, but we'll give it time. Custom lib for the classic circuit, introducing Bottas's helmet. I haven't seen this yet. Ooh, okay. Vibey. Very Japanese food feel. Did what's her name? Tiffany design this one again? Cool. I like it. Not my favorite helmet, but it's a special helmet. I like the vibes. Very fun. The Cadillac logo sticks out like a sore thumb on the purple, but I like it. Good vibes. The time Jensen Button and Lewis Hamilton were left to rebuild the car on their own. Wait, what?
See you later, lad. Good luck. Quite well. Good going. you know where the little thingies are for it? Oh, mate,
Okay. Yeah, so this is how the conversation went down. Max, I'm not speaking before he leaves. Seriously, said the journalist to Verstappen, in which Verstappen replied, yep. The exchange continued. Journalist said, because of the question last year, Verstappen, yep. Journalist, you want me to leave? Verstappen, yep. Journalist, it's just the question I asked you in WWE. Verstappen said, yep. Journalist said, about Spain. And then Verstappen said, get out. Bruh. Hashtag Japanese GP. Get race ready with Pepsi. So Lewis Hamilton and Carter, we've talked about this already. This is funny from, I can't watch that on stream, but Behrman directing the reliability comments while looking at Lando. It's funny how these young guys can get away with so much by just being young and silly. Whereas I feel like if, imagine Lewis looked Max in the eyes and made a comment about reliability, like, holy fuck, the world would explode. To clear up some things I've seen on here regarding Max Verstappen and the Guardian journalist he banned from the last session. The Guardian plus Jules Richards are both respected outlets and journalists, not tabloid or clickbait media. You can disagree with the question asked in Abu Dhabi. But to ban someone from asking it seems a bit OTT, over the top, in my view. Suspect in the coming days and weeks it may be reversed. A bad look for Red Bull as well as Verstappen himself. I say that with undoubted bias as a member of media, but that is my view. Ocon and Kimi doing some RC racing, which is pretty cool to see. Dude, this is McLaren's brake duct. How fucking crazy does that look, bro? How fucking crazy does that look? Why is there dumplings in Chinese cat? I think he got that helmet one race too late. Wait, what? I mean, it was a fair question if he didn't lose his head in the Spain. He wins the championship. I'd be annoyed all the time as well if I had to drive this Red Bull car. The last time an F1 race was held on March 29th, a multiple-time world champion got their first win as a Ferrari driver. This Sunday is March 29th. Nick Hulkenberg seems to confirm the rumors of a bad relationship between Binotto and Wheatley. I found out same time as everyone else. In fact, it caught me in the simulator. I thought, shit, obviously there was a problem. I don't know the exact details, but there was a problem. Interesting. Wow. Exactly 85 years ago, Lella Lombardi was born, and to this day, she remains the only woman to score points in Formula One. She scored 0.5 points in the 1975 Spanish Grand Prix with the March team after finishing in P6. It's kind of crazy. No one really, like, everyone's like, oh, we need the first woman in Formula One. But we've kind of had the first woman in Formula One. A few women in Formula One. But yeah. Lando's DNS in China was identified as a software fault that permanently damaged his battery, luring it out of the pool. He's now lost one of his limited batteries for the season. Yes, this is what I was talking about earlier in the stream. Lando had a permanent problem with his batteries. He's lost a whole battery because of it, which is crazy. They should have done that instead. Some guy flipped in the crowd and the race got suspended. Wait, what the fuck? Dude, the details on this V-Carb livery are so insane. And here's Isaac Hedges' helmet. How good is that? Oh my god, I want to eat it. It looks so nice. I love that so much. Nothing too crazy, but I'm built different. Like, incorrectly, I think. Okay. Koji says, when the Duo is approved, we will begin to develop the performance, which should enable significant improvements. Even if we manage to eliminate the vibrations and can go to full power, it won't be enough. We need to improve. George Russell is tired of their rivals trying to slow Mercedes down this season. Just because we're sort of back on top, I don't think it's quite right. Everybody's trying to slow us down, especially when you're in 2 races in. Welcome to the Formula One, buddy. You've been doing that for the last few years with Red Bull. It's what happens when you're at the top. Yo, we got the chipmunks, bro. This is my first year watching F1. Is anyone else concerned with the new regs? Won't let them slow down in time to avoid collisions at the huge intersection? We'll have a look at that clip in a minute. And that clip. After you left the first 2 races, quite disappointed. What needs to happen here in Suzuka so you can leave Japan with a happy smile? Start the race. That could probably help. Lamel, Max refused to start his video session today until the... Wait, we'll have a look at that. More photos of the Bottas helmet. Cute. Oh my god, we got a bunch of fucking PR clips to look at. Sorry, press conference clips to look at. Why F1 fuel costs $500 a litre?
When you fill your car or bike up at the local service station, the development cost of that fuel is spread across tens of millions of litres. Not so with Formula One. For a start, there are only 5 companies producing fuel for the 11 F1 teams. Exxon.
Oh, can I guess them? I was going to say Mobil, Aramco, Shell, now BP, and Petronas.
On Mobil for Red Bull and VCarb, Petronas for Mercedes, Williams, McLaren, Alpine, Shell for Ferrari, Haas and Cadillac, Aramco for Aston Martin, and BP for Audi. And they aren't producing tens of millions of litres of this stuff per year. Last year, cars had 90-litre fuel tanks. This year, that's been reduced to 75 litres. So on 2026 race days, each team will fill their cars to the brim. Over the 2 previous track days, a car might go through another 180 litres or so. So let's say each car uses 250 litres per round. A team has 2 cars, so that's 500 litres per round, and assuming we get 24 races this year, that's 12,000 litres per year per team. And at $500 a litre, that's an annual fuel bill of $6 million per team. And on top of that, you've got testing days, filming days, and other stuff throughout the year. But behind every litre of fuel used is a team of highly paid scientists, technicians, and engineers working to make the very best fuel possible. And get this, there is no oil used in this fuel. The new fuels are produced from switchgrass. Now, I'd never heard of switchgrass before this, but my investigations tell me it's an energy crop able to be grown on low-quality land with minimum fertilizers, water, or pesticides.
Right.
When you fill your car or bike up at the...
That is amazing how far the F1's fuel has come. But yeah, I saw a TikTok the other day. It was some fucking chick on TikTok who was like, I can't believe that I have to spend so much money on fuel and do all this shit with fuel and blah, blah, blah. Yet Melbourne's hosting a Grand Prix and like, what a joke. And they're just sending cars out for fun. And it's like, you're dumb. First off, they use different fuel. But yeah. What is happening in Twitch chat? Yeah, journalist, bruh, this is hella racist. What? Dude, you're so dumb. Practice is already over. Practice is over. Practice 1 is still here. So how is he dumb? I'm so confused. Guys, we're just live on YouTube, just chilling. I know practice 1 isn't on right now, but we're just chilling right now. Practice 2 is about to begin soon. Actually, speaking of, I think we're going to leave Discord there now. We're up to the Kim Illman video. YouTube, I am going to end the stream there. We are going to stay live on Twitch to watch some videos now. So if you're watching on YouTube, come join us on Twitch. And then we'll be live again for practice 2 shortly after. But yeah, YouTube, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like. I'll see you guys for practice 2 in 35 minutes time. Come join us on Twitch in the meantime. Bye-bye.